let's get slightly late starting stream started by booting up Skyrim and forgetting about the Morphwall Bridge incident. Oh, how I wish I could forget about the Morphwall Bridge incident. You know how I spent 3 hours at the end of last stream setting that up? Mic check. Starting stream started by mic check complete. But I spent an additional 3 hours after that trying to fix it. 1 hour of which was completely, and I mean completely, rebuilding the goddamn nav mesh for that cell. From scratch. I take pride in the fact that I did it in less tries than vanilla, but tries, I mean TRI, as in triangles, not tries as in tries. Yeah, that's confusing. But, nope, still didn't work. I mean, and you know what was really insulting? Is right after 3 hours, I'm just going around and test. The Smithy son, he was stuck at the bridge, so was the guard. Follower was doing their usual, if you sort of babysit them across, they'll go. And then Fonia just waddles up, watch out, slowly waddling, the little bastard, wrong Shawk. Shawk. But, and then he just waddled over the bridge, like there was nothing wrong. And that pissed me off to a whole new level, because it proved, and a little theory I had, that there was nothing wrong. It's that they could go over. They were choosing not to. And that confirmed it. When Fonia just casually waddled across, not a care in the world. He just waddled across the bridge real slowly. He never cared, he never noticed, he just went straight over. Which means there's something in there telling them not to cross that bridge. I know nav mesh is a black art. I know it's particularly, arcane in how it works. No one understands it. But it's one of those things that, like, something, and it's not something in the original nav mesh either, because I did a test where I replaced, basically copied the original nav mesh back over as an override. That works. Then I copy-pasted it so that both nav meshes existed at the same time, and lo and behold, it didn't. So something is looking for a very, very specific thing, and I have no idea what it is, and I'm just giving the fuck up. And we're going to leave Morphwall before I get pissed off. And we're also actually finally going to put this ability. What we're going to do? What quest are we on? What quest are we actually on? Not Angler Acquaintance, Let's... A new hand touched the beacon. And I might as well... Oh yeah, we also speak to the Yarlfolk. But since we're up here, since we're not far from it, let's actually go up and return the beacon to Mount Kilcreef. I'm not looking as across this bridge. Because it's actually pissing me... Looking at that, it's pissing me off, and I'm...
Don't have time to talk. Too much to do.
What are you...
Yes?
What are you doing? Oh, my potatoes.
Honest pay for honest...
Cabbages are a joke. Oh god, I really just sold the cabbages, making my friend. I mean... What the... It made me just phasing through the wall. How did the cow get out? I did make one little change to this farm, though, as I harvest some potatoes to make up for my loss. Is I put... If you notice, I'm not sort of bonking as hard. I sort of waddle up here with Shireen, we'll see. Yeah, no. What? Where is he going? Please tell me he's not going to try and bonk the wall. God. He was trying to follow me for some reason. That's weird. But there is actually a wall there to try and stop him just trying to phase up the wall. See, he will eventually find his way to the stairs. Effectively, because he's still sort of bonking the wall. But he wouldn't have made it anyway, because he's bonking the leg. NPC pathing is shit. And I'm not... I'm not giving any more of my time to trying to make sense of what is fundamentally bad pathing at the end of the day. Ooh, disease nipples. I'll harvest the disease nipples. That'll make me feel better. Oh, excuse me. Well, there once was a mud crab who pinched my butt, and then my shark friend beat him into a pulp. Yeah, the end. Yes, why do I have my crossbow out? For killing mud crabs. At distance. Ooh. Mud crab, little mud crab. Ooh, the money fly. The money fly is here. Ooh, some giant lichen. Yeah, let's see what's in this. The locked room. I'm sure I've read that one before. We try not to do repeat. What the? That was a delayed swap. Oh no, mud crabs. They're actually surprisingly painful. They actually hurt. Mud crabs have surprisingly high attack power for what they are. I guess you could say they're a glass cannon. Oh yeah, I just remember my dwarven axe, without dwarven metal to improve it, is not stronger than my steel axe. What is it? Oh no, it is now. Why do I still have the steel war at? I'm trying to de-favorite and I failed. There we go. Now we actually have a dwarven axe. Maybe if I actually put that in incorrectly and actually mark it as my favourite, because... Can you tell I was going mad with the bridge? No? Well, then now you know. Mud crab. I thought they were all dead. Clearly not. Disease nipples, disease nipples. They don't look good. I've got to mark this stone, but I also don't want to wake the draggy up. So, or at least wake up onto me. Fine if she attacks a mud crab, I don't care. These nipples. Oh no. Hey, here are you looking for a doomstone? Yes, I know, I can see it right here. Well, if it's take 3 paces forwards, 2 paces left, another 2 paces left. Shut up, I've got a dragon fighting me. Beep. Right, I know now. Look at the apprentice. There is no way in hell I'm fighting her at this level, unless Sharina is way stronger than I thought she is. Oh no. Yeah, there is... Yeah, Sharina is down. I think she's down. Yeah, there is no way we are killing that. So... Ah, a fort! That's a perfect place to hide from a dragon. Hey, you hung up on me last time. I thought you were looking for a doomstone. No, I'm running away from a dragon. Now leave me alone. Into the ass crack of the earth. It look a bit like a butt crack, so... My joke is fine. Oh no, it's a bandit! Oh! Ow. How many bear traps have you laid down here? In this escape route. Oh, this isn't the way in, this is just an escape route. Right. I thought this was a way in. Nope. I mean, we can wait here for an hour. Hopefully the dragon leaves us alone. Although Sharina seems to have got lost. Oh no, there she is. She's alright, it's fine. There we go. I thought that was a way in to the fort. I didn't realise that was a way in. You know what, let's clean this fort out. We're here, we might as well do it. Fort Snowhawk. We might have to clean this out in the Civil War. You never know, so... Oh no, the fence, it completely stopped me. Oh, hello, human. I didn't know human lived here. Are you an Altmer or a Dunmer? I can't tell. Regardless, I'm eating you because I can't actually tell what you are. I think you're an Altmer. I don't think Dunmer tend to be blonde. He is an Altmer. He was very, very grey. Ooh, scroll of being dead. Oh no, Skellimens. This is the fort with the necromancers and this. I love how it just runs past this skelly knowing it's no threat whatsoever. To go fight another Skellyman. Who are you? Are you food or are you just Skellyman? Possibly just a Skellyman. If it's a Skellyman, I'm not even going down. Where is it? This fort is really, really decrepit. Oh no, it's a skelly man. Oh no, more skelly men. God, are these... Has anyone died to the vanilla Skyrim skeletons? Like... Is it even possible? Even on the... Maybe on the bow bashing they might have posed a threat because they might have lived for like more than 5 seconds, but... Maybe? I know shield bashing doesn't instantly kill them unless you get the target blooded, in which case, yes it does, because shield bashing is actually pretty strong. Unlike bow bashing. Bow bashing is painful and just don't. Ooh. That's not bleh. We don't remember... You know, let's read Trials of Saint Alessio. Trials of Saint Alessio. Akatosh made a covenant with Alessio in those days so long ago. He gathered the tangled skeins of oblivion and knit them fast with the bloody sinews of his heart, and gave them to Alessio, saying, "This shall be my token to you, that so long as your blood and oath held true, yet so shall my blood and oath be true to you. This token shall be the amulet of kings, and the covenant shall be made between us, for I am the king of spirits, and you are the queen of mortals. As you still stand witness for all mortal flesh, so shall I stand witness for all immortal spirits." But the Daedra, we don't care. And Akatosh drew from his breast a burning handful of his heart's blood, and he gave it into Alessio's hand, saying, "This shall also be a token to you of our joined blood and pledged faith. So long as you and your descendants shall wear the amulet of kings, then shall the dragonfire burn, an eternal flame, as a sign of to all men and gods of our faithfulness. So long as the dragonfire shall burn, to you, and to all generations, I swear that my heart's blood shall hold fast the gates of oblivion. So long as the blood of the dragon runs strong in her rulers, the glory of the empire shall extend in unbroken years. But should the dragonfires fail, and should no heir of our joined blood wear the amulet of kings, then shall the empire descend into darkness, and the demon lords of misrule shall govern the land. From the liturgy of the rekindling of the dragonfires." Well, it was a book, I guess. It mentioned the Amulet of Kings about as much as the Amulet of Kings did. You are a coward. You haven't even seen me and you're already cowering in fear. With your 2 skellies! Oh no. Ooh. Yes, alchemy takes priority. Ooh, alchemy. Ooh, an iron battle axe. There's a desperation in picking that thing up. Button. I don't know why the buttons aren't animated. It's so weird. Ooh, delicious snack. I said, ooh, delicious snack. Ooh, skelly. Ooh, stabby stabby. Smashy smashy. I mean, axe is still smashy smashy, isn't it? And it's not quite the same as a hammer, but... Alchemy! Ooh, I think an Necromancer Adept just died. Was she... She isn't human. Ooh, Cats of Skyrim. Let's read Cats of Skyrim. I don't think I've read that one before. Maybe I have. A report by Aldefield. I have been... Yeah, I think I've read this one before. I read that in the last series, I think. Ooh. This place is an alchemical grove. Nords of Skyrim. We are not reading Nords of Skyrim. We read a book recently. I was only going to do Cats of Skyrim because it's one I didn't think I'd read. And I thought would be an interesting one. Then I remembered we read it and it was basically... There is one cat, the saber cat. It is dangerous. The end. Oh, we must... have we not read Immortal Blood? I mean, we'll find that again sometime, won't we? I mean, if we haven't read Immortal Blood, we... Yeah, well, I'll read Immortal Blood in a... As soon as we're done with this dungeon, we'll read Immortal Blood. I think that's the reward for this dungeon, is we get a reading of the most obvious I Am a Vampire book ever. Wiggle wiggle. Oh, you look like a delicious Italian elf. You're also a delicious looking corpse. Are you that delicious looking corpse? No, you're a dungeon. We don't eat those. They're too common. Can't fill up on common food, you know. Ooh, spell poems of the crapular variety. I don't think... is there a skelly just... Where is this skelly? I hear it. I don't see it. I hear skelly, but I no see skelly. I think I cheated and took a wrong turn and went through a locked door. I don't think we want to read about Pelennor and his coming. Not that time, anyway. Right, where is this skelly man? He's in a wall. Is he on the lower floor? Where is this skelly, and why is he stuck in a wall? Also, those are some big barrels. I like when you see big objects in Skyrim. Because the other thing is, like, the asset system is really robust. Like, you can rescale your assets to make them seem like more than they are. Where the is he above me? Yeah, he's above me. Well, we can't do alchemy in here because for some reason there's a skelly that's stuck in the ceiling. Where is this skelly? There's a skelly just... Yeah, I can hear it. Oh. Well, it's not in here either. Ooh, there's a zombie. They want... Is that... Oh, there's a key. There is no upper floor. So, where is this skelly? And how did he get up there? Ooh, crappy spell. You know what I'm just gonna do? I'm just gonna put my head through the ceiling. Oh no, there is a way up. There is actually a way up, he's not... I thought this was blocked off. Oh well. Well, that was pathetic. He was annoying me all this time for that. We will also then read Immortal Blood. Because, you know, you gotta read the vampire book one day. Immortal Blood by Anonymous, clearly a vampire. The moons and stars were hidden from sight, making that particular quiet night especially dark. The town guards had to carry their torches to make their rounds, but the man who came to call at my chapel now carried no light with him. I came to learn that the Movarth Bequeen could see in the dark almost as well as the light. An excellent talent, considering his interests were exclusively nocturnal. One of my acolytes brought him to me, and from the look of him, I at first thought he was in need of healing. He was pale to the point of opalescence, with a face that looked like it had once been very handsome before some unspeakable suffering. The dark circles under his eyes bespoke exhaustion, but the eyes themselves were alert, intense, almost insane. He quickly dismissed my notion that he himself was ill, though he did not want to discuss a specific disease. Vampirism, he said, and then paused on my quizzical look. I was told that you were someone I should seek out for help understanding it. Who told you that? I asked with a smile. Piscina Grey. I immediately remembered her. A brave, beautiful knight who had needed my assistance separating fact from fiction on the subject of the vampire. It had been 2 years, and I had never heard whether my advice had proved effective. You've spoken to her. How is her ladyship? I asked. Dead, Movarth replied coldly, and then, in responding to my shock, he added to perhaps soften the blow. She said your advice was invaluable, at least for the one vampire. When I talked to her, she was tracking another. It killed her. Then the advice I gave her was not enough, I sighed. What do you think would be enough for you? I was a teacher once myself, he said, not in university, a trainer in the Fighters Guild. But I know that if a student doesn't ask the right questions, the teacher cannot be responsible for his failure. I intend to ask you the right questions. And that he did, for hours. He asked questions and I answered what I could. But he never wanted any information about himself. He never smiled. He only studied me with those intense eyes of his, committing every word I said to memory. Finally, I turned the questioning around. You said you were a trainer at the Fighters Guild. Are you on an assignment for them? No, he said curtly, and finally I could detect some weariness in those feverish eyes of his. I would like to continue this tomorrow night if I could. I need to get some sleep and absorb this. You sleep during the day, I smiled. To my surprise, he returned the smile. There was more of a grimace. When tracking your prey, you adapt to their habits. The next day, he did return with more questions. These ones were very specific. He wanted to know about the vampires of Eastern Skyrim. I told him about the most powerful tribe, the Volkihar, who actually live in Western Skyrim, but he did not notice. Paranoid and cruel, whose very breath could freeze their victims' blood in their veins. I explained to him how they once lived beneath the remote ice and hunted lakes, never venturing into the world of men except to feed. Movar Pukin listened carefully, and asked more questions into the night, until at last he was ready to leave. I will not see you for a few days, he said, but I will return and tell you how helpful your information has been. True to his word, the man returned to my chapel shortly, after midnight 4 days later. There was a fresh scar on his cheek, but he was smiling that grim but satisfied smile of his. Your advice helped me very much, he said. But you should know that the Volki have an additional ability you didn't mention. They can reach through the ice of their lakes without breaking it. It was quite a nasty surprise, being grabbed from below without any warning. How remarkable, I said with a laugh, and terrifying. You're lucky you survived. I don't believe in luck. I believe in knowledge and training. Your information helped me, and my skill at melee combat sealed the bloodsucker's fate. I've never believed in weaponry of any kind. Too many unknowns. Even the best swordsmith has created a flawed blade. But you know what your body is capable of. I know I can land 1,000 blows without losing my balance, provided I get the first strike. The first strike, I murmured. So you must never be surprised. This is why I came to you, said Movarth. You know more than anyone alive about these monsters in all their cursed varieties across the land. Now, you must tell me about the vampires of Northern Valenwood. I did, as he asked, and once again, his questions tasked my knowledge. There were many tribes to cover. The Bonsamu, who were extinguishable from Bosmer except when seen by candlelight. The Kiralip, who could disintegrate into mist. Or someone had been hitting the skooma too hard. No one knew. The Yakef, who swallowed men whole, which sound more like a Argonian than anything else. The dread Telboth, who preyed on children, eventually taking their place in the family, waiting patiently for years before murdering all in their unnatural hunger. Once again, he bade me farewell, promising to return in a few weeks. And once again, he returned as he said, just after midnight. This time, Movarth had no fresh scars, but he again had new information. You were wrong about the Kirillov being unable to vaporize when pushed into water, he said, patting my shoulder fondly. Fortunately, they cannot travel far in their mist form, and I was able to track him down. It must have surprised... I said, fearfully, your field knowledge is becoming impressive, I said. Should have an acolyte like you decades ago. Now tell me, he said, of the vampires of Cyrodiil. I told him what I could. There was but one tribe in Cyrodiil, a powerful clan who had ousted all other competitors, much like the Imperials had done before. Their true name was unknown, lost in history, but they were experts at concealment. They looked like wrinkly old men with weird glowing eyes, but no one could tell. If they kept themselves well fed, they were indistinguishable from living persons, except for the fact that they were wrinkly and had glowing eyes. They were cultured, more civilized than the vampires of the provinces, preferring to feed on victims while they were asleep, unaware. They will be difficult to surprise, Mervar frowned, but I will seek one out and tell you what I learn. And then you will tell me of the vampires of High Rock, and Hammerfell, and elsewhere, and Blackmarsh, and Morrowind, and the Somerset Isles. Yes? God, this book goes on forever. I nodded, knowing that it was a man on an eternal quest. He wouldn't be satisfied with but the barest hint of how things were. He needed to know it all. He did not return for a month, and on the night that he did, I could see his frustration and despair, though there were no lights burning in my chapel. I failed, he said as I lit a candle. You were right. I could not find a single one. I brought the light up to my face and smiled. He was surprised, even stunned by the pallor of my flesh, the dark hunger in my ageless eyes, and the teeth. Oh yes, I think the teeth definitely surprised the man who could not afford to be surprised. I haven't fed in 72 hours, I explained. As I fell on him, he did not land the first blow, or the last. Yes. In which case, I mean, there is only one there's not actually many known vampires in Cyrodiil. This is a sort of counter skin grab, but I can't see it being him. He doesn't live in a chapel. Right, we have left this fort, and now we can head towards a new hand touches the beacon. Ow. Oh, that book went... Some of these books go on for way, way longer than you think they would. Immortal Blood is one that definitely goes on for way too long. Ugh, doing that voice for that long. I'm glad I didn't do Black Doom. That would have killed me. I mean, that's a painful voice to do even in short bursts. But, yeah, doing that one, which was definitely Wes Johnson inspired. That's definitely what I was thinking of. I was thinking of... I mean, frankly, Lucien LeChance was what was going through my head. Spooters! Oh no, Spooters. Well, they were kind of pathetic. I was expecting more from them. Yeah, clearly the little spiders aren't much. It's the big ones you gotta worry about. Well, I might as well mark this little shacket, which I believe is Miko's. You know what's funny is, my first playthrough, I found Miko on the road and then never again. Because I've never actually taken this road towards Solitude. Oh, there's just a dead guy. We'll just take his money. Did you see this claiming me? After all my years living in these woods, it looks like the rock joint will finally be the end of me. I guess that's fine. All my friends are long dead. The only one left is poor Miko. He was always a loyal companion. And I know he'll be able to take care of himself. I hope someday I'll see him again. And in true dog logic, Doggo not abandon master. Doggo thinks something's wrong, Doggo go get help. Because Doggo is your friend. You know, Dog will never leave you for dead. Dog will try and go get help. It'll stay with you and try and help. It won't do very well at helping. I'm not going to make any pretenses that a dog's help is useful in a lot of situations. I mean, getting someone else to help, yes, but you know, when you're dying, a dog's help is not that useful, or worse, when you're dead, a dog's help is not that useful. But it will stay with you forever, because dogs are love. Dogs are just, you know, a dog will love you forever. Once it's imprinted on you, a dog will love you forever. Kind of unconditionally. They're cute, but not that bright. Oh. Oh, I see you've been browsing dead bodies. Would you like a burial service? Only 500 septims per burial. No thank you. I think I'll just leave the dead body because it wasn't my... No one I knew. So I don't care. Ooh, alchemy. 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 What's attacking me? Oh no, a fish or something. On. Yeah. I only have one way of fighting this stupid thing. Or do I just stand on a rock? That might work. I can just stand on this goddamn rock. That'll do. Oh, come back here. Lots of fish are just here. Oh, yeah. I'll just eat you. Something I can just eat you underwater, it's fine. Chalk eat fish. That's not that abnormal, is it? Oh! Yes, I mean, I'm pretty sure Miko's protected anyway at Acheron. Yeah, I'm pretty... I don't like having dog companions because I don't like seeing dogs get hurt, frankly. They're too sweet, they're not... Yeah. Toxin. Oh no, it's a Stormcloak camp. Don't mind me, I just ate a slaughterfish, it's fine. Well... Oh yes, I now can join the store. Yeah, the slaughterfish to me are something that's a relic of earlier in Skyrim's development where underwater combat was planned, but was cut relatively early. Because unlike Fallout 4 where underwater combat was clearly cut relatively late in the development cycle because there's lots of evidence of underwater content, even down to the promo, like the sort of special videos have you crafting a harpoon gun for underwater. But Fallout 4 is different in that you can tell that it was made for it. Skyrim, you can also kind of tell that it was not made for underwater content, and as a result, slaughterfishes just feel like a weird relic of the time when it was. And let's face it, slaughterfish, they're a nuisance enemy at best. You go in with a cloak spell, or you have just the most horrible time trying to hit them with ranged attacks.
I'm on my way to Windhelm to join up with the Stormcloaks. Ulf.
I'm surprised. I thought it was exclusively Nords who did that. Clearly not. Clearly any human can be. Well, I need to find a new hand to touch the beacon. I don't want it. Is it this road? Probably. Because mud crabs can fight you underwater? I think? And I think that's just because they're not really treated as swimming. They're weird. Unlike Oblivion where they had actual swimming animations, I don't think they do. Oh, Meridia.
So much for the constancy of mortals, their crafts and their hearts.
Oh, shut up.
If they love me not, how can my love reach them?
Meridia, you're squatting in a dragon cult temple. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, or just not have slaughterfish at all. Like, I feel like they're just a weird nuisance enemy. Or you have necessarily like they're just like a passive thing. Yeah, maybe not like a harvestable fish. Maybe they are something you have to kill, but like a rabbit. You replace them with a passive big fish that you have to manually kill. Oh, shut up, Meridia. Here, take the beacon. I don't want it. I mean, it reminds me of the old Oblivion deer where you couldn't fast travel because a deer was nearby, which was always infuriating. Ah, the ball of light has walked up to me. The ball of light sort of determined that I've got a bit of a smudge on my screen. Oh well. There we go. Yeah, I mean, at least they give that something. They're better than some things that just, like, have no purpose. Yeah. God, can you stop walking close to me with your blinding ball of light? Well, it actually does give you the view of Skyrim. I mean, you get to see all that beautiful lore.
Worse still, he uses the power stored within my own own token to fuel his foul deeds.
Like, it's not some special cell, it is just above the world space.
To be my champion, you will enter my temple.
I can see Source Solitude under Arch down there. Calnar Reader. Vanilla Doctor. Telling me about this. Sounds like I don't really have a choice in this matter. Yeah, I mean, Spriggans are irritating. But they're not as irritating as they were in Oblivion, where they would get up from the dead 3 times! I mean, yes, Skyrim's... Okay, I guess if you have some of the higher level ones where if you just don't have enough burst damage to just kill them, they just keep infinitely reviving. I don't think they have a limit. I mean, yes, let's just... Oh, Spriggan! Wow. Oh, you've got a deer nearby? Nah, it's hostile now. Got a rabbit nearby? Nah, it's hostile now. It won't attack you, but it's hostile now. I don't think they would that. I don't think they did that in Oblivion, but anything that wasn't like a human NPC was counted as a hostile for some reason. Oblivion was weird. Oblivion was so weird. Like, for some reason the deer, I don't know why, but they counted as hostile for fast travelling purposes sometimes, and it was so irritating when you were trying to fast travel, but there was a deer nearby. Right. Ah, Meridia's blinding light. I finished my... Oh god, I still haven't finished that slaughterfish. Yeah, Oblivion Spriggans you had to kill 3 times. They were really irritating. Especially when, like, Oblivion combat was... Oh, my stamina's going down every time I swing. Oh, my stamina's out. I'm doing no damage. Oh, gotta wait for stamina to come back. Oblivion's combat was not good. You know what? Have I got rapid? Have I got some rapid? No, I haven't got myself, have I? I don't think I've got it for myself anyway. No. Well. Look at blinded.
Look, Nordic ruins. I hope there's gold.
Finally caught up, I see. Good. Yeah, I mean, Skyrim, they're a case of, if you can't do the burst damage to kill them, they just keep getting back up. I don't think they have a limit. I think if you can't finish them off in their weakened state, they just heal. Regardless. Skyrim, at least you're not, like, doing less damage just by attacking more, because Oblivion combat was... It was a very low-sum game. There was a lot of very low damage output going around. Enchanted weapons at high levels in Oblivion, that legitimately became a case of you must use them, otherwise you would just never keeping up. That was a really worth locking so aggressively. I'm trying to think what the most... I mean, dangerous enemy type Skyrim. Bulma always scale horribly aggressively. I don't know why they're so aggressively scaling vanilla. Boros are something you really don't want to encounter at low levels because they are really high base level for some reason. Ah, some new hands touch the beacons. Ow, I stood in the blinding light and it hurt. It made my tail go erect. Why does this happen in Skyrim, where your tail just sometimes goes erect? Like, you can still see there's a little bit of wiggle on it, because you can see the little fin at the end wiggling a little bit, but... For some reason, the tail goes erect, and I don't know why. Uh-oh, shades! They're really good for money if they have money on them, because for some reason, if they have money, it's like 200. It's stupid. Oh, did I fix that? Oh, I want to loot his corpse. He had bone meal. I can't resist alchemy ingredients if I see it. Ugh. A new hand touches the beacons. Yeah, the Fulmer also aggressively poison, as do Chorus, and Chorus can do ranged poison, the most annoying kind of poison. I don't think I meant to be standing here, because there's actually no way... Oh, there is a little staircase there. Oopsie. I didn't notice that. Ruby's gem. Books of Ruby. Yeah, stick money is precious to me at this point. Oh yeah, it's a desk. That was it. It was the corpses that have the money, not the shades. I mean, the shades come from the corpses, I guess. So, oh yeah. Isn't this a? Oh yeah, the light goes sort of beam through like you'd expect. Nah. Okay, why can standing in... There we go. I mean, it drains my magical powers. Oh no! Shades! Oh no, you're an archer shade of the Storm Cloakier type. Yes, you have crappy arrows. Where are my corpses? I just hear the beam. I just hear the beam of light. I shouldn't be able to hear a beam of light, but I do. Because it's not light, it's Meridian power. I know this is actually surprisingly dangerous early on because of Frost Storm! A frankly bit bugged spell. Oh yeah, I am level 18 with only 203 health. I am pretty sure that the Frost Storm is going to murder me. Which is partly why she's here. Because if she draws the ire, then I get money. You know, I don't get died. You know, she can take the first hit. As long as she eats the Frost Storm, I'm fine. This is why you have follower, huh? I still play the sort of middling difficulty, but I've tuned everything. I'm just actually curious what my difficulty setting actually is. I set it to have vanilla adept, but I've got everything sort of tuned upwards manually. I mean, I know I've got something to disenchant. The Luna shit isn't actually unique. I can remake that. No, not Froki's bow. That's unique. Yeah. Oh yeah, Frost Storm is a broken ass spell. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to. That's the problem. Is it just genuinely doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna put the Silent Moon's enchantment on it because why the fuck not? It gives it like infinite charges. It's silly. If I do this now, I don't have to get like lost later on doing this. So yeah, I mean the thing is, this Frost Storm is the worst because it can hit. Not only is it powerful per hit, it also has a really annoying habit of hitting multiple times because it's, you know, kind of. How do I put it? If you've ever seen the Righteous Bison in TF2 where it sort of hits multiple times, it's like that. Except that's been actually tuned to work properly, while Froststorm hasn't. Froststorm does it unintentionally. Like, sometimes you can get hit once, sometimes twice, sometimes thrice. And if you get hit 4 times, then you're just dead. I mean, there's always...
Better. Well, maybe not.
There's always a chance that he just misses me. And she doesn't die in one hit and doesn't get in the way. Oh god, I've just realised that's a thing. Wiggle, wiggle. Ooh. An Amulet of Stendar. Sure, I want that. It seems to be only Ice Storm. I've never seen it with any of the others, but I've never really seen any of the other storms. I don't think Fire actually has. I'm not sure if Fire even has one. I know Lightning does, but Lightning's usually one of the best magic types because it's hit scan. It's shorter range, but it's hit scan, so it's kind of a fair compromise. It's faster at the expense of not being as consistent, as longer range. But Skyrim isn't designed to be long range. Long range kind of breaks Skyrim in. Well, not just in 2, but in shattered fragments. Because enemies can't actually compete. They only have like very short range, even the archers do. Press that pedestal. Right, we're gonna have to go round the long way. Ooh, extreme magic potion. Level 18? Seems a bit early for that, but yeah, I'll take it. Wee. Jump. Yeah, I'm sure there is a lightning storm. I just can't remember. I don't really use magic in Skyrim all that much because I find that it just doesn't scale particularly well. Like, why is there an empty strongbox here? That seems like such an odd thing to have just as an empty asset. Normally they have something in them. Well, I don't know what Lever actually did, but who knows. I say, the problem with Skyrim magic is actually obtaining it. Unlike Oblivion, where the mages had very specific inventories, Skyrim's are all kind of random what spells there. And at the end of the day, did you even need it in Oblivion? No, because spellcrafting exists and was infinitely better. Like, spellcrafting was broken. I genuinely actually would prefer if Sky Oblivion does not bring it back. I know they have, but I think it would be better if they didn't, because it is such a broken mechanic. Because it completely trivialized any and all vanilla spells, because, well, most of the time, barring a few exceptions, most of the time a crafted spell costs you less to cast. Oh no, Shades. I mean, the Shades hit decently hard. But do they hit hard enough to stop a dual mace? No. Yeah, spellcrafting was one of those things that even if you weren't stacking it in a way to deliberately, like, stack buffs on top of each other to make yourself ridiculously overpowered, the spells you could make were just so stupidly overtuned. Like, if you had the magic to cast them, you could do it. You can make some really broken things. Or because of the way Oblivion's leveling worked, you made like a one-cost destruction spell that hit you, not an enemy. You, 1 damage to yourself, just to level a destruction of. And you did that for a lot of the spells, as you basically made a one-cast, as cheap as possible, just to make it. So you could level up faster. It was not a good system, but that's how Oblivion was. Because Oblivion only cared about spells you cast, and because of destruction, you needed to have a target. Oh yeah, there was definitely a fortified loop with it. You could definitely stack it, like, you could make yourself... You could stack it in such a way that you could legitimately jump across the entire map. The stacking got that stupid. I've never done it, because I personally find that sort of stacking to just be an unintended bug. And I try and avoid such deliberate bugs. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there was also the case where I believe if you just downed enough skooma, you could jump across the world and fly at hyperspeed, so... But you could also do that reliably with spell making as well. You can make a couple of stacking spells. And you could also use it to, like, one-shot things, because the damage scaling was crazy. If you just stack the cost down. It was a neat system, but it was a really broken system. And then compare it to Oblivion's enchanting, which is just shite. To the point where there was not a single reason to ever enchant your own items if they weren't from a sigil stone. Right, first order of business. Land bolt in his butt. Second order of business. Another bolt in his butt. And stay back. Yep. Yeah, the problem is unlike the Stumo, if you had too much meth, you just die. Because nature says no. You shouldn't ever take meth. There's no reason to ever take it. Malkaran, are you aware that I'm here? I mean, this feels unintentional. I think he's dead. I think he's smushed into existence. Yeah, he's been smushed out of existence.
The Defiler is defeated.
Right. The Defiler is defiled.
Breaker from its pedestal.
I know that. Oh, he had a staff of chain lightning, and he was probably trying to use that. I think that's the lightning storm equivalent, but it can't I don't think it can multi-hit. I think because it goes. So let's say I fired this corpse. Say these corpses with people that go bam and then blast I think 2 different ones. Let's see what it actually says. Staff of Chain Lightning. Yeah, then leaps to a new target. It's good for crowd control, but it's not really something I've ever actually played with because I've never actually had the proper spell. And we all know how useless staves are. Oh, staves. Why'd you suck so bad in Skyrim? They really should have toned the money on these corpses down. There's so much money on them. But you're also probably not meant to be looting this room before or playing with Malkaran's corpse, so... Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you can build up taser immunity. People have done that. Ooh, dig site. The problem is, if you... Like, the taser... If you can just you can actually build up immunity to it, which is weird. And I'm pretty sure that, like, to be a security guard these days, like... You basically got to have the training where you get hit by a taser to kind of get you used to what it feels like to be tasered, so you can, adapt to it. Yes, I did play with Malkaran's corpse, didn't I? Yes, there's his corpse. No, he's only a human. Is he a... No, he is only a human. I was thought he was an elf. Oh, why? Oh, well. Come on. Oh. Ah! There we go. That didn't feel good. Why did I remove the sword? Now I'm blind. Not again. Not again.
Malkaran is vanquished.
I love how Meridia is just a regular human NPC, but with an outfit that completely removes all the body parts and replaces it with a ball of light. No, Skyrim's dead aren't remain at rest because the dragon cult revives the bloody things, and they're clearly more powerful than you. Not the mighty Dawnbreaker.
With it, purge corruption from the dark
True. I believe skooma just absolutely blights your stats. So I believe in Oblivion, when you drank skooma, it actually permanently took a stat down. Which was one way of mass leveling in Oblivion, to be fair. I think somebody else has spread your bloody religion.
The plant cares nothing for the rays that bring it the
Nah, joke's on you. I've raised one white light, and it's not from the sun.
So will mine.
That's how the greenhouse works. We have a natural light. Great, not again. Yeah. I love how it lets you drop almost a cratering. I think that's a really fun little thing. It's also the second time I believe it happens, because Pelennor Whitestrike does it to you in Oblivion. You know, the Knights of the West Johnson expansion, which wasn't an expansion on PS3. So I never actually knew that it was an expansion. It was always just there on PS3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a permanent debuff, but Oblivion had a lot of ways to permanently debuff you. In like if you went to jail, you would just have permanent skill loss. I seem to recall that it was a permanent I think it was the intelligence attribute. Though Skooma was real bad to do. Also, if you see Ophalion, you kind of realise maybe I shouldn't take the Skooma because that guy's weird. Ophalion the alien. You know, he definitely puts aliens to shame with how weird he is. Well, I might as well go through Dragon Bridge. Yeah, the Soul Chem one is the only one I can think of as well, and you can revert that as well. It's not even permanent because you can revert it. You just have to go on a really tedious excursion to find Soul Gem fragments. I can't remember if you then have to fight the Reaper as well, but there is a way to undo that debuff, so it's not even that's not permanent. Yeah, Skyrim jail time is a case of there's like no reason to do it because you almost always, unless you've gone on a really deliberate murder spree where you've just killed everyone in the town and let yourself get the bounty, chances are you can just always pay the bounty off, or just say, I is Fane, let me go. Or if you're in the Fugs Guild, I is Fugs Guild here, have some money, let me go. There's no reason to ever actually do jail in Skyrim, but there's also no real penalty to it. Because Skyrim, what it will do is it'll take your... Let's take, say, oh, leveled up. Let's put some stamina. But... Say I've got... my enchanting is at 34. If I went to jail for a really long time, that might go down back to 0, but it would still be at 34. So I would lose progress to my current skill, and that's it. It's so... nothing, and the bounties are so easy to pay off. Compared to Oblivion, where actually having enough money to pay off your fine was quite difficult. Because Oblivion's economy was much better balanced than Skyrim, like being a millionaire was much harder. Unless you did scroll duplication, but that's a bug. We're not pretending scroll duplication is anything but a bug. Yeah, it's good old scroll duplication. It's like Skyrim is too easy to make money. Because you can just... If you're really desperate, you can just infinitely farm firewood. Or clay if you've got half fire, or quarried stone if you've got half fire. See alchemy ingredients. I know this river's deep. Ah, some base. No one likes playing bass, so it's always the sort of like the one no one wants because it's not cool to play bass. Everyone wants to play guitar. No one ever wants to play bass. Oh, this river's that shallow. Oh, the river's actually is that shallow. Oopsie. Oh no, a mud crab. I did say they could fight underwater. They don't really have. Did they actually have a proper swimming animation? Oh no. Oh, it killed a slaughterfish for me. That's good. Walkers can also attack underwater. I mean, I don't know why you'd ever go into water, because why would you ever be scared of a hawker, but it is a thing. Yeah, because you do have to clean out like the entire town in Skyrim just to get one. Well, we've got an adventurer's journal. Let's read it. There's something unsettling about these caravan attacks. I expected bandits. But the remains we saw were literally torn apart, rent, limb from limb. Yet no mere animal could coordinate attacking a full-sized merchant train. And wolves don't take prisoners. Speaking of which, we haven't seen any wolves yet, which is unusual. We found a trail leading up into the hills. We'll make camp here for the night and set out at dawn. Whoever, or whatever, murdered those people, we'll make sure it never happens again. Well, we'll go into the cave. We'll see we'll see what kind of booty we get. And yes, I have set Skyrim's economy to be buy, trade, and barter. Great mod, highly recommend it because it lets you just tweak Skyrim's merchant system. Oh no, no mere animal could do this. Why does this look like a bear? I think the implication is it's what's in this cave, not this bear, but still. Oh no, I need to heal. Let's bring out magic! And just laugh. Check your watches! There we go, we have healed. Good old healing. Not an effective spell, but it does its job of turning MP into HP. Yeah, Skyrim, at higher levels, then you start finding jewels, or, gods damn it, if you picked up the Stones of Berenzia and got the Crown of Berenzia, then you end up with so much money, because you get like 5 billion gems from just opening anything. And yes, I have actually gone in and nerfed that perk, because the profit was pissing me off with how many gems it made. Oh no. Well, he didn't make it very far with his orca loaf and cabbage soup. Wait, cabbage soup confined in close space. I think he died. I don't think he died. He didn't die by mauling. He died by farting himself to death. He farted so hard he exploded. It's unpleasant. It's a very bad way to go. You know, there's the Elvis, which is dying on a toilet, and then there's that. Yes, I know the implication is it's spooters. Booters. Yeah, apparently the spooters have got them. But what kind of spider burns their corpses? Well, clearly these spooters burn their corpses. Born limb from limb. I don't think spiders tend to do that. That doesn't tend to be the spoodery way. Oh, hello, Spooder. Yeah, I can't believe I used to take damage from these. Because they die so quickly now. Ooh, Spooder, Spooder, how many Spooders? Is this what killed the merchants? So we got a bear outside, some Spooders inside. And this was enough to kill that merchant. Oh yeah, my extra carry weight. I just give myself 10,000. I just don't care to engage with the annoying mechanic because it doesn't... It's not like Oblivion where you had limited resources and had to manage like repairs. It was, and to be fair, if you added extra carry weight in Oblivion, you tended to just crash the game because Oblivion was pretty unstable. Right. Oop, let's go down this way. Because Short can swim, you know. Take advantage of the fact that you can swim. Ooh, chest. Ooh, oogie. Oh yeah. Good old Nimmy. I mean, sometimes I've just found it where Nimmy's just dead. I don't even know why, but sometimes Nimmy is just dead. So I've never actually... There's quite a few times where I've not actually had to fight Nimmy because she's just dead for some reason. This cave is just a warren. Yes! Oh no, some particularly aggressive spiders have torn this merchant train apart. This merchant train sucks. Fulmer! I don't think these Fulmer came out their cave, somehow. I think this is my first encounter with these cretins. Wow, the blind cretins actually really hurt. You know what, we might actually be wearing Fulmer armor because it might be better than what I have. There is that very strange case where actually it might be better than what I've got. Yeah, I don't like carry weight as a mechanic. The only reason I sort of engage with it in Oblivion is because Oblivion just is not stable enough to really up it much. That, and there's enough ways to just up it temporarily in Oblivion that you can usually just fast travel somewhere and dump your shit. That's an unlike Fulmer track. Oh, a mage! And a Spooder! Wait, is this the Fulmer equivalent of an attack dog? Is they have an attack Spooder? Is this what they have? My god, this... I don't care that there's a fight going on. I see alchemy! I'm going for it. Look at all this... This is a treasure trove. This is a true wonders of the underground. Mushrooms in grotesque quantities. Oh god, the smell in here must be pretty bad. Mushrooms can go pretty putrid. Like gagging putrid. Ooh. Now, the question is, who's a Fulmer basket weaver? That's the question. Who weaves their baskets? Everyone else is made like chorus kind. Nah, this is they're weaving a basket out of presumably mushrooms. Oh, the spider corpse is in the way. Can't drag it. Yeah, I don't like I think there's something even worse than carry weight. Inventory limits. You know, just inventory limits in general. God, some games have really oppressive inventory limits. One I can think of is Dark Cloud. Which is weird because its sequel doesn't. Its sequel's got like a really generous inventory, and to be fair, I think it's only limited because of the PS2's memory limitations. But Dark Cloud 1's, that inventory is oppressively small. That is, I've always had issues with that inventory. It's like, it's so small. Oh yeah, she came in here, killed these. That was it. Almost sword on your hand. I don't need that crap. This is my first Fulmer dungeon. Oh, hello, Fulmer. Stabby in face! Stabby in face! I'll take your skulking gnome days are over. Yeah, Han Fulmer is surprisingly good armor. Actually, quite good looking as well. I quite like the look of it. But it's one of those things like and it's a lot easier to obtain in Skyrim. Ebony It depends. If you're not getting your smithing up, Ebony can be a bit of a pain because you've got to wait for a random adventurer or a mercenary to be wearing a set. And then just goad them into killing you. And then kill them. Daedric, good luck ever getting that. I mean, you can use... Again, without smithing, you can use the Atronak Forge. God help us with the Atronak Forge. I can't loot things under corpses. Corpses eat the activate trigger. But yes, hardened formal gear is surprisingly effective. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Witcher 3 gameplay in my house, in that my father played through Witcher 3. I don't think he ever went through Witchers 2 or 1 or 2. Well, I've heard Witcher 1 is not worth going through at all, so... Well, kill the obese bug. Clay emits millions and millions of eggs. Because, oh my god, whenever you find Chorus eggs, you don't just find one, you find loads. They're always plentiful. But I would say they're some of the most plentiful. I didn't mean to be looting the prisoner, I didn't mean to strip him of his clothes. I didn't mean to have the clothes off his back, I don't want them, I want these egg sacks. Excuse me, I'm just trying to loot eggs. Is that so rude? You stop being so rude, I'm just trying to loot all this alchemy beautifulness. Yeah, I mean... So I've never really cared for the sort of dodge roll action RPG style combat that seems to blight like every game now. It's not something I've ever really cared for. Like Skyrim's actually, I really like how simple the combat system is. There's no I'm just not abusing iframes. If I have to abuse iframes, just please no. I don't like iframe combat. No. I tried Dark Souls. I could never get along with it. I just never enjoyed it. Like I tried it. Never enjoyed it. I don't know how much formal gear I have. I'm just trying to think about permanent debuffs in Fallout, and the only one I can think of is the mole rat disease. But you can just not get it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's due a remake. I don't know why it wouldn't. It's one of those things that's hopefully they updated better than they did Oblivion Remaster, because we've all seen how bad that went. I mean that's just Unreal 5 on top of Oblivion. It's got all of Oblivion's jank. They've changed some of the animations, but that's really about it. And I don't think the new animations are better. I actually think they're somehow worse. Yes, the Oblivions were weirdly stiff, in that if you look at anything above the sort of belt line was kind of independent from the legs, but they had a charm at least. And they fit the sort of crappy combat, for lack of a better word, because Gods of Oblivion combat was bad. Are you meant to have any... No. Oh no, a lawmaster. Oh, he's dead. Quickly. I thought he was like the big boss one. I mean, I know Sharina hits like an actual truck, but have you seen that body mass? Like, you thought Stream was big. Like, Stream's like a head shorter. It doesn't have muscles built like that truck either. Stream is nowhere near his head. Oh my god. How? Yeah. I mean, Skyrim is a case of vanilla. It's just sort of there. I mean, part of the fun of Skyrim is modding it, and like, I really would struggle to play vanilla Skyrim because the reason I don't have Skyrim for my Switch is because I just can't put up with the vanilla-ness of it. You know, I like my sexy dragon, goddammit. And I like having the combat not be a joke, because some of Skyrim's Skyrim's only vanilla difficulty is make every enemy into a sponge, to try just to make the damage a little bit harder, rather than just like not just making them spongy. And it also means it just makes followers broken as well, because they kind of have the same interaction. I think I've looted all the eggies. But have I looted all the mushrooms? Yes. Out the pit. Quick, out of the hole! God, this place is loaded with mushrooms. If I find an alchemy table, I'm going to be rolling in potions. That's how I'm going to find my way out of the pit. That's like, just built like a look at that. You know what, I might just... Have I got any better light armor than hide? I asked a question that should be obvious at the answer, but... I mean, technically, if I upgrade that, that probably will be better. Do I actually have any better light armor? And the answer, I think, embarrassingly, it isn't. No. Because Stormcloak is fur equivalent. Oh. That's definitely some dead Fulmer. And 5 billion mushrooms. I love... Why is this cave so rich? Yeah. Why run a merchant caravan when you can just take all of this for free? You're in the real money. Fulmer do not know the way to put fun and profit, which is alchemy. But all booty. Beautiful. I didn't mean to take the basket. Basket, please go away. I don't want you. No one wants you. Sad basket noise. Please. If I ever find a Fulmer chest that's locked, it just breaks my mind. Because how? How do you lock that thing? Yeah. Yeah, Skyrim's got... Like, dodging in Skyrim feels like a deliberate... Like, you have to commit to the dodge. Because the movement isn't the fastest. I had balanced my... I needed to move the bucket to get in there. That's not a bucket that's the specific bucket, is it? No, that's just a regular bucket. That's just something to stick on someone's head. Like... Can I actually get it on her head? That's the question. No. No, if it just rests on her tits. Right, got it. There's the old bucket on head trick. Blight that vision. That always amused me that was a thing. And the way the buckets tip over when you use them also seems to imply this is intentional. Well, that was a surprisingly big one-cell dungeon. But Skyrim, you're not meant to dodge, so if you do dodge an attack, it's because you committed to a motion that takes you out of combat as well. Or, you know, there's the old, I'm going to demonstrate it with healing, but then this is flames, where you just run backwards, but I've modded it so if I run backwards while casting, I move like a fucking slug. Because it bothers me that you're concentrating on casting magic, you're not concentrating on backpedaling. And it bothers me, vanilla, how fast you can backpedal with magic. Because you run up to a mage and they're just backpedaling away from you as fast as you can move forwards, and it's just irritating. It's one of those things that's something I'd fix, and that's the sort of kind of little tiny tweaks that I have so many of. That makes Skyrim so enjoyable. And, yeah. Skyrim will be 15 in November. 15! Oh no, and Sabercat. Well, Shireen's not even here, so... I think that Sabercat just died before I killed it. Go figure. Oh, I got my lamp on. Oops, turn it off. Yeah, that's just one of those things that I got used to in Fallout, of just having the ability to go, oh, hold button, lamp, hold button, lamp. You know, that's just something I got so used to having that... Not that I use it often, but it's there if I need it. Oh yeah, I'm heading towards in the general direction of Folk Reef. Oh, did I see him? Yep! Floating rock! Oh. You know it's a Bethesda game when you can see under an asset. I mean, I make jokes about it, but I have actually done that seriously with Point Lookout Fallout 4. I actually was a beta tester on that, so I got kind of good at seeing float. You know, I was looking around for that sort of floating asset stuff. I mean, I joke about it in Skyrim because clearly a few get through regardless. But it's one of those things that I'm always on the sort of lookout for it because it's just I don't have to log and record it in Skyrim, because if this was when I was Point Lookout testing, I'll be going, okay, use the which cell am I in little mod to tell me where I am, and then take a screenshot and note down where it was. It was, you know, it was a bug reporting exercise. But with Skyrim, I'm just doing it, you know, if I see one, I just point it out for funnies. Oh, it's that road. I skipped the bandit camp. You know what, let's go into that bandit camp. Ooh. That was a very quick meal. I can't eat very quick. To be fair, I am a very slow eater. When I go out with my friends, I'm usually the first or second to order, but also definitely never the first to finish. Oh no, he's a thug. Well, he's now an ex-thug. Oh, an outlaw. Tasty, tasty Bosmer. Yum yum. Tasty. Tasty Bosmer. Yummy, delicious Bosmer. There's rare meat. Ooh, cooked poker. Oh no. Bandicular of Nord. Are you a Dunmer? Yes, you are a Dunmer. I can see your little red eyes. No, you don't yield. Yielding is for the weak. And you don't do it. I don't accept you. I think a boss man is coming at me. Oopsie. Yeah. Yeah, there's some oddly cut textures. There's definitely. Hey, I'm not the biggest fan of how steel plate looks on a woman, but it's the legs. The legs are too tight. But hey, it's an armor upgrade. I mean, the former stuff's also an armor. Actually, let's see. Let's see what the steel plate armor actually is. No, yeah, that's definitely that's just an upgrade straight in. I mean, my boot. Yeah, I mean that's just straight up an upgrade. You know, I'll wear it for a bit. See, it's the legs. It's how tight it is on the legs. It's not a great. I never quite like the look of the steel plate. Ooh, we're going into Robbers Cove. I mean, I'm just trying to think. I'm going down Falkreath Way, so yeah, we see what's around there. You know, just going to talk to the Jarl of Falkreath, because getting that done quickly. Or bandit leader time. Idiots! Brody and heard where I eat over throat again today, and nearly came to blows. The whole camp is on edge. I've ordered an extra ration of meat, but unless this fighting stops, we'll tear ourselves apart. Rumours that herds gathering followers for a mutiny. I guess you could say he's gathering a herd. Brody is not stupid. He's probably doing the same, just for insurance. I'd kill them both myself, but the camp split right down the middle. If I tried, there'll be a knife in my back within a week. Can't take this anymore. I've been skimming a little gold from the tape, bringing it down here when I can. If I can scrape enough together, I'll make a run for it. Head down river to Dragonbridge. Brody's getting suspicious. Got him poking around in a cave this afternoon. Oh, sorry, the cove, because we're doing pirate, because they're about as far inland as they could be. I don't think he's found my stash, but it's not safe here. I took the boat out tonight and stowed it on the island to the south, by the old tree stump. Had a good haul this week. No caravan or two, and I can finally get out of here, and not moving too soon. Right, that pirate accent done. You know, it's always speak like a pirate day when you want it to be. Island to the south, little boat by the stump. Yes, I know, we got... Ooh, that kind of bucket. That kind of bucket I carry just for the funnies. But, because it can be used to fly if you've not got a skeleton that makes yourself heavier. Which turns out I do. I mean, it has been fixed now, but it's one of those things I don't actually care for it. I've decided that for this stream series, I am going to just, I've just. So, do I have a flame cloak spell? No. Slaughterfish, they are so annoying. That's one slaughterfish. Stupid enough to come into my stabbing range. God, slaughterfish are irritating. It's amazing, I found more slaughterfish than I have wolves. This is baffling me on a level that it shouldn't. Well, it's good there was a convenient little island in the middle. I don't know why I've got so many slaughterfish today. Normally it's like 100 wolves. Now it's like 100 slaughterfish. Oh wow, he really didn't place that very well, did he? That's subtle, you can see it from the bloody camp! But he's got a key. But he's got the key to Robbers Cove! That's nice. Ooh, a hunting bow, a torpor. That really wasn't worth a master lock, that. The amber, though. Oh, that's good, I'll accept the amber. Yeah, I mean... And this is improved over vanilla. This is realistic water 2, which just looks a lot nicer than vanilla water. Like, it actually it's water, it's just for some reason really, really black when you look into it. I think it's to hide that actually, if you do go underwater, not that this water's really deep enough, but you sort of see just how barren the riverbeds actually are. So I think the water gets such an aggressively dark filter on it to hide, because you can see on the shallow bit, you can just sort of see underwater and it doesn't actually look that good. So I think it's there just to hide how barren the undersides look. It is just plain texture with occasionally seaweed. I think that's why it's got such a dark blackness to it. Works alright for the oceans. I mean, go out in Britain and look in the ocean, you ain't seeing very far. In fact, you're not seeing very far at all because it's dark and dingy. But that is Britain for you. We don't have these sparkling blue waters. We have festering grey water. It's kind of depressing. Oh no, a saber cat. Oh no! You little paw. Which is, funnily enough, I see my dog did. He used to do it on the doors, like the sort of scratch with one paw. Always the left paw, never the right. If you scratch the right side of the door, it was a very strange interaction. Very cute interaction, I mean, because it would scratch 3 times and then make a cute noise, and then repeat. It was very strange. That was a very strange dog. Still love him. Several years, but I still love him. But I mentioned earlier that dog will love you for life. He definitely loved us for life, and I'm going to love him even past that because I need to repay that love debt. Oh no! Wow, are these just like basic? Oh no, there is one that's an outlaw. I was going to say, if these are all the basics, that would be embarrassing. Please be delicious. Are you? No! First wolf are slaughtered! You know what, let's just abandon that idea right now and just watch. Oh, you're a Bosma! A delicious Bosma! Yum. I said yum! Yum! Get in my fucking... Do I have to eat your corpse? I have to eat your corpse. I prefer the living, but I will still nom the dead. I will eat tasty Bosma. Tasty Bosma. To live another life farm. Just, in case you start as a farmer, this is where it starts you, which is I believe that I love a physics fail, but... Damn the cat. Whoa! Bees. So many bees. Stealing from the apiary, that's a crime. Plucking the bees from the sky? Nah, that's fine. Bee in the air is no one's property. And yes, this place you can tell is mod added because it's got stealable crops. Yeah. No, It's only if you. I believe if you start there, it counts as a free house. But if you don't have to choose that start, it doesn't. And yes, even the chicken. Actually, the chicken eggs aren't stealing. Yet the crops harvesting is. Go figure. Like, I believe it's a restoration of something that was a sort of cut vanilla object, so it's kind of like doesn't feel that out of place. You know, it makes Rorikstead feel a bit more than it is. And we can all agree that making Rorikstead a bit more than it is always a good thing, because Rorikstead was a bit pathetic vanilla. Oh no! Skeevios! Ratus, and... Hey, Ratus. Ratus flightus. Great. I like when things go for a flight. It's funny. I love when Skyrim physics just do that. I mean, Lund's hut. Who is Lund? Why did he live so far from town? Why was he baiting these bloody ests in? Like, okay, that apple is just gone. I'm accepting that apple is just gone. I think I just robbed someone's grave. Oh. Yeah, well. Anyway, into Lund's hut. Lund is dead. As we know, the dead in Skyrim have no rights. If you're really, really weak, you might actually die if you just enter this place. This is an oh, free mouth tusk. Hello, Lund. Oh, he's got Brief History of the Empire, volume, I don't know which one. We don't read volume books because... Volume books. Look, he knows what the good stuff is. He's got the Onimbrue Mead. Oh, that Blackbriar Swilpit of Lund. I think he was trying to poison... Maybe... He was feeding the goddamn rats! Oh, I think I might have finally got the reference. I think I finally got what Lund is about. You know, in a Morrowind, there was crazy... there was a quest to annihilate a load of rats. In a basement. Oh no, that's definitely a Fugskill quest line that has that sort of rats in the basement reference. Maybe it isn't a reference to Crazy Rat Lady from Oblivion. Because there was Rat Lady, where you had to do the inverse of the first Fighters Guild quest line from Morrowind. Morrowind, you had to kill the rats. In Oblivion, you had to protect the rats. Because a mountain lion kept getting in. For some reason. Speaking of things that are for some reason, I want to point out this Rorik's Manor is a vanilla house and vanilla part of Rorikstead, and just outside his door, giant. Just giant taking a whiz up a tree. Great. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that and move on. Because yes, this is part of vanilla Rorikstead. There's a lot of things here that aren't. I mean, I assume Rorik's Man is vanilla. Yeah, vanilla. 06. Yeah, that's vanilla. Triple O. That's definitely vanilla. And this farm is also definitely vanilla. You know what? Can I afford that? Yeah. No, I can't. No, I can't. I set prices to be as stingy as possible and aggressive as possible. Humming Dawn Guard. Yes. Good old big cards. You know, I'm just gonna pretend that giant doesn't exist as we just pop into the pub. Yeah, clearly you would. I mean, that's right. What do you have to say about this place? Know anything about Rorikstead? Like anything? They grow food here, just not proper food. Not even any bandits around. Can we move on? You'll get a theme for what her dialogue options are. She's usually quite grumpy and just, I want to eat someone. Hurry up. Is the town of Rorikstead named for you?
Yes, that's right.
Funny, because it exists on maps before you did.
Lands you see are mine. Most of this I purchased while my
oh, I didn't have... No, I don't have the landowner one. I don't have a lot of creation club stuff.
Nothing would grow here, and so the land...
I was quite selective with what I had.
Thanks to the hard work and the God's blessings, our farms prosper.
Yes, you fought in the Great War, didn't you?
I commanded a force of several dozen men, most of them levies from villages in this...
Villagers? What villagers? This is the only village.
An old merry soldier ran me through.
Makes me wonder if his style was written before they sort of had the
A
areas,
healer named Joanne saved
you know,
my life.
solidified.
He's been my closest friend ever since. I tell you, that man is a miracle worker.
Right, we're leaving now.
All right then.
I'm just gonna not pretend that I've seen the giant taking a whiz while collecting his cows. It's just ignore that. It's like, you know, we're just moving on. There's no blacksmith here, I don't think. I mean, this is one of the few towns that doesn't have one. Oh wait, no, it does. It's up there. That one, I think, is the blacksmith. See if we can't grade some shit. Do like immersive towns and cities as like smaller towns. I think Genevieve did a really good job doing these. The old version was a bit over the top and you could tell it was horribly modded. Well, this is sort of like an expansion of the vanilla set. Yeah, like actual handrails is not something you see in Skyrim, but like this all feels vanilla enough.
Yes?
Can I have you? Yes, you are a blacksmith. I'm just going to see if I've got. One of the 84, that's never going to come close to steel plate, is it? No. Steel plate is just really good armor. And we don't even have a full set of it, so we might as well just use our chorus card to upgrade this shit. You might as well upgrade your shit, because that's free smithing experience. Also, it means upgraded crap. Oh no, I'm not. Yes, I'm going to bring my Stormcloak cuirass and these fur shoes just because I can. Oh yeah, there's a lot of city overhaul mods go way too far. There's
most of the basic weapons and tools you could need.
There's so many that just go way too far. I'm very picky with what I've got for a reason because there's so many of them. Like, oh god. One I can think of off the top of my head is Great City of Solitude. God, that one is ridiculous. That goes so over. That's so overkill. It's funny. Actually, comically overkill. Like it puts stuff like any open bit of space out or semi-open bit of space outside of Solitude is filled with houses. It's crazy how much it is. I think we can sell these iron arrows and these iron daggers. Oh no, not the iron fittings. I want to keep those. Little Ben, we must keep. Orcish arrows can go. I don't use bows. I use crossbows. We got some silver ingots. Oh, my old steel armor. We can get rid of that. Ooh, steel arrows. They can all go. I don't carry arrows. I don't use helmets, and I balance my armor perks appropriately to account for the fact that I don't use helmets, because helmets, ew. Yeah. Oh, the Imperial... Oh, it'll be bigger than that.
Take care.
It's also sort of... probably in terms of building it might be equal, but in terms of like how much is in a small area, it's more. Imperial City actually... When you factor in like the gardens don't really have much going on in them, you... like the 6 sub-dis... You know, there's like... Okay, I think there's 8... Yeah, because there's the 6 spokes of the wheel. There's the Mage's College, the prison. So that's 8. In a dock. So there's 10 distinct areas of the Imperial City. But the arena is very much just the arena. The gardens are very much kind of... The temple is very much... Not much... That has actually a bit going on in it. The sort of graveyard is very much just its own sort of area. So it's all kind of like... There's a lot of...
Well met.
And the prisons, again, not much going on there. But I think it would actually compare... In terms of number of built, like, interior cells, I think it compares. It's kind of crazy how overdone it is. Like, I would highly recommend a mod called Solitude Underarch, which I have realised has, like, over 1 million downloads on console. Like, on, like, one console. I think it was PS4, it's more popular. But it's still popular on Xbox, and I cannot believe that one of my mods got that popular. I just can't believe that. especially when you look at its Nexus downloads, and it's kind of pathetic. Not many people have it on Nexus, because I feel like there is this thing where PC Skyrim modders tend to like going more overboard, looking at like all the mods out there, and I tend to like more just vanilla plus. Oh, is that an Argonian soldier? Yes, it is.
When are we going to see some action?
Yeah, I mean, the Oblivion, you can't deny that Oblivion cities were great. Also, I specifically, when I was like adding like diverse Imperials, and I took a mod and sort of expanded upon it, but I deliberately made it so the Argonians wore a slightly different outfit. Because it bothered me that like the helmet got rid of the horns. That really bothers me, so I gave them the horned helmet to imply that those are their horns. They're just wearing a helmet over it. The horn removing helmets bother me so much. Wait, somebody help! What?
Stay sharp.
Help! What? There's nothing here. Soldiers. Yeah, the Imperial City is like huge. I mean, Oblivion cities in general are pretty good. I think that's, you know, in the things that Oblivion does better than Skyrim, the cities are undeniably better. And not just because they're actually like all unique as well, but they're all pretty sizable and there's a lot going on in them. Now, Skyrim's definitely got much more limited cities. And the little... Oblivion also has a lot of little nothing villages that are like used in one quest. Like, one of them legitimately just exists solely for... I believe... It's not in the mirror. Which one is it? No, which is Murthala, the one that takes forever to say anything in Skyrim. There's one quest that's just fucking with like making a village turn on itself. This grinding hit's really quite hard. Food to the rescue! My cabbages! My supply of cabbages. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like there's a lot. The problem is like a lot of Skyrim's helmets just aren't built for Argonians at all, and even the Argonian models don't look great with them. And the Khajiit have the same problem, where because they got a little bit of a snoot, even though they're cats, they don't have much, but they got a little bit of a snoot, so it's kind of... But most of the time the Khajiit use the same human headpiece, so the most aggressive example I will give is Guard Helmet. Guard helmets are particularly bad. I mean, what the fuck happened to my snoot? And then the Dragon Priest masks are the same, because for technicality purposes, the Shark race uses Khajiit model? For some reason uses the Khajiit. It's just set and, you know, it uses the Khajiit armors for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. You'd kind of think it would use Argonian, but no. Ooh, that hurt. Bread? Yes, bread works. Brute bass. I'll eat some cabbages. My cabbages supply is down. We're fighting next to a giant mud crab. Food is broken and I love it. Yes, I've got a mod that makes food behave like Fallout 4's food, where it gives like a passive heal over time, so it isn't completely useless, because, let's face it, in Skyrim Vanilla, it's like, heal 5. Yeah, so, I'm just, you know, one of the things is like, I hate helmets for a reason, because I very rarely play as an human. I think I have like, or an elf. I tend to play elf one human. I think I've got one, possibly 2 humans. And one is the human I have is a sort of reference character to my profile picture on YouTube, which is a personal project of mine. Lagadug. Right, I'm just gonna let this wolf bite the dust, and I will link set plug. No lip. Let me just grab the linky. Yeah, and then yeah, there's a lot of the Oblivion was 2005 when it was made. Let me just put in. Let me just put in a specific link, because it is. If you're ever wondering what my profile picture is and the reference character is, yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of them are, in fact. And then you got Winterhold, which was supposed to be like once a great city that fell in the sea, but there's not even any evidence that it fell in the sea. There's like, it's just a generic village. Like, I feel like it just ran out of time. And to be fair, there's a lot of Skyrim where I feel like they've ran out of time to meet the 11/11/11 release date. Yeah. Oh, that's not my mod. That's just a personal project of mine I've been working on for. Oh god, almost. Oh god. It's something I've been working on. It's older than Skyrim. Oh god. I've just realised that it's older than Skyrim because it was April 2011. I think it first came. I first put it out. There is a I did dig up the history for, go from my memory and dig up some old things to get a feel for the history.
Perhaps.
And put that sort of on the the out of universe page. Yes.
We shall see.
I'll give you a good death, tasty, tasty friend. My tasty. I will give you a death and then I'll eat your corpse. I feel that's more fair. You are tasty orc on. Tasty. We eat the exotic meats. Ooh. We leveled up from eating him. Right, I will put this into. Well, we can stop putting in health again. Ooh, 2 perk points. Enchantment. Enchantment! Yeah, I mean, I've got a mod that sort of expands Winterhold that I've got that I thought was quite tastefully done in that it sort of gives it a wall, it gives it a bit more. I can't remember what it is. It's probably in my mod list, which is in the description. Or is it? Was it something I added after doing that list? God. I'm just gonna do a quick check because I know. Well, we just wait. Hear this Orc Digest. I'm just gonna quickly look in my mod list and just see if I've actually got the Winterhold one in there. Because it would be. No, I don't think it's actually on that list. Yeah, I don't think that list is a bit out. And yeah, that's weird. That list has got stuff like Freya mod on it, which is relatively new. That was something I only put on for the last. Yeah, that's something I only put on later. So I don't know. That mod list is a mess, and I really don't consider it particularly. It's not one I consider particularly. What's the word? Up to date, and yet it's got some up to date stuff on there. Because again, Freya mod shouldn't be on there because that's way more modern. But if the Winterhold one isn't, but it's just like a really basic one that just adds a bit of details that gives an impression that it gives a much more destroyed vibe. Like there was once something great there in like the old Nordic style. You've used I think some of Windhelm's assets for the wall. It does a pretty good job of just giving the impression that there's something there without it rebuilding it too much. So the lore it fell in the sea is still there, but it doesn't add like new NPCs or anything. It just makes what remains of the town a little less pathetic. I mean, my mod list is. I must have updated it at some point, but not fully. Because that is not. Unless it's not actually called Winterhold or something. It might not actually be called. It might not have the word Winterhold in it. It might be. It might be Palehold Capital or something stupid because it's. Oh wow, Noble on a Horse. This is an event that I used to get so often that I actually made it so it didn't come up so often. So it's got like a week-long lockout on it because it kept coming up because it's the top of the list, and the random encounter list does seem to draw from the top. So it would always roll that one, so that one would always have a disproportionately high encounter in sequence. So the one at the top of the list always comes up first. And I don't know why that sort of baffles it so much, but it did. And I always got Noble on a goddamn horse as my random encounter, and it was driving me mad. Right. We are approaching a cave. Oh, hello, Valda. I'm just looting for...
You! Over here, please. I need help. Please. I'm not sure I'll make it on my own.
You need help? You aren't talking to me. Help.
Please.
Oh yeah, Talsgar's a pretty common one. Are you gonna actually... Why are you in combat? He's in combat with something.
Please. Do you have a potion you can spare?
I'm trying to give you a potion, but you won't let me. Because he is in combat with something. Look at his little grimace. That means I can't... Oh, you can heal him with healing hands? Do I have a healing hands? No, I do not have healing hands. Do I have it as a spell tome? No. Well, I'm sorry, Valda, you're just gonna have to stay there while I clean out this cave. Yeah. Yes, I like this a lot. Pretty much all Skyrim's dungeons have either a marked quest or an unmarked quest in them. Even the little ones like this. Like they're not much of a cave, but it's got something going for it. Like they killed a bear and they angered the Spriggans. I will fell the tree with my axe. I said I will fell the tree with my axe. Oh, that's a big bear. It's a dead bear, but it's still a big bear. I don't think I've got the scroll for it either. No, I don't actually think any of the channel spells have a scroll. Actually, now I think about them, I think channel spells just don't have scrolls. I think they have, and as far as I'm aware, restoration staves don't exist either. You know, they're not for healing hands. I am very concerned that she's going to one-shot me, so... You know, I see a big Spriggan, I'm very, very concerned by her ability to one-shot me with those claws. You know, rent in through my armor with a wooden claw. It works surprisingly well, because I buffed some of the bigger Spriggans to be more dangerous. Look out for their rarity. You know, sometimes the rarer the creature, the more it deserves to hit like a truck. Ooh! Gold! And yes, doing the dual attack does actually reduce the number of times you have to whack it. No, I don't know why that's the factor either. Skyrim makes no sense at times. Spriggan has popped down for a tree. Against that. They're high enough level that I can just kill them fast enough. Right, I think I've cleared out the cave for Valda, but there's the cave clear bong. Ooh. Meanwhile, the sort of dual power attack does not count as a multi-hit. Question Skyrim's logic, it makes no... You all just go mad. Madness. Give in to the madness. Oh, you know, just hook the madness goose and just run into a minefield, that's fine. That's always a traditional way of using the madness goose. Or madness gas. Always one of the funniest weapons to use. Throw it into a clump and just watch that clump spread. No! Valda! He died! Because he refused to accept my potion. Valda? You're supposed to have a dagger. B99 40. Why didn't he have this on him? I'm taking it off his corpse, but I'm not allowed to loot the rest of his corpse for that. I know he has a unique item, therefore I'm collecting it for museum purposes, because I have a compulsive need to hoard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the old Draugr Deathlord ruin, and you just got this one restless Draugr who's on his own and is just inexplicably weak. The amount of disarms that tends to bring. Or Fulmer, where you just fight like a million Shadow Masters. Direct scaling is a bit weird. Oh, I swear I just heard something attack me. Oh well. Well. Oh. Oh. We'll just take Father of the Nibbon. And let's just... Yeah, well, let's read them a bedtime story. Let's read them Father of the Nibbon. you know, I feel like this is time for another book readings. Yeah. Yeah, he clearly didn't bury, yeah, he did bury his dad. I saw where he buried it, didn't have time. Right. Father of the Nibbon. Translated and with commentary by Florin Jalil. I can't say that properly. Writing the biography of anyone is a challenge. Usually the problem lies in assessing one's sources, comparing the prejudice of one chronicle versus another. Wappenjar, I have been told in writing his well-regarded series on the Wolf Queen of Solitude, used over 100 contemporary narratives. I cannot complain about my task having a similar issue. There is but one record of the man called Tupal the Pilot, the earliest known Aldmer explorer of Tamriel. Only 4 short verse fragments of the epic Father of the Nibbon have survived to present day, but they offer an interesting, if controversial, look at the Middle Mirific era, where Tupal the Pilot may have sailed the seas around Tamriel. Though Father of the Nibbon is the only written record of Tupal the Pilot's voyages, it is not the only proof of his existence. Among the great treasures of the Great Crystal Tower of Somerset Isle are his crude but fascinating maps, his legacy toward Tamriel, the translation of the Old Mary Uthendra Nibenu, Father of the Nibbon, is my own, and I accept that other scholars may disagree with some of my choice of words. I cannot promise my translation lives up to the beauty of the original. I have only strived for simple coherence. So he's basically saying the original text is an incoherent mess. Got it. Fragment 1. Second ship de Pasquinel, manned by pilot Ilio, or Lilio, Clilio, was to follow southern pointing, Waystone, and the third Nibbon. Manned by pilot Topol was to follow the northeast, pointing Waystone. The orders from the Crystal Tower they were to sail forth for 80 moons and then return to Tel. Only Nibbon returned to first hold, laden high with gold and spice and fur and strange creatures. This was before mud crabs were a common occurrence, you know. Dead and alive! Though, alas, old Elnapade Hopel never found, he told the tales of the lands he had visited to the wonderment of all. For 66 days and nights he sailed over crashing waves of dire intent, past whirlpools through mist that burned like fire until he reached the mouth of a great bay and landed on a sun-kissed meadow of gentle dells. As he and his men rested, there came a fearsome howl, and hideous orcs streamed forth from the murky glen, cannibal teeth clotted with gore. Ah, yes, we know the elves are deeply racist to everyone, including their own kind, because remember, orcs in Elder Scrolls are elves. For centuries, strange crystalline bowls were unearthed at the sites of ancient Ultima shipwrecks and docks, peculiar artifacts of the Mirific and Dawn eras that puzzled archaeologists, until it was demonstrated that each had a tendency to rotate on its axis in a specific direction. There were 3 varieties, one that pointed southward, one that pointed northeast, and one that pointed northwest. The Ultima did not understand that a compass existed. It is not understood how they work, but they seem to tune to particular lines of power. These are the waystones of the fragment, which each of the pilots used to point their craft in the directions they were assigned to go. A ship with a name not mentioned in the fragment took his vessel northwest, towards Fras and Yakuda. That's the Pasquiniel took the southern waystone and must have sailed down towards Iandonia. Topol and his northeast waystone found the mainland of Tamriel. Good point. I mean, the Argonians seem pretty nice, but they don't like the Dunmer because of the enslavement of their people, which, you know, is fair. But I don't think anyone likes the Dunmer now I think about it. The Dunmer are kind of like, everyone seems that they hate everyone and everyone hates them sort of scenario, so yeah, I guess that kind of is works. And no one really likes the Ultima either, so yeah, that's a good point. I don't think anyone likes each other. It is clear from this fragment what the 3 ships were assigned to do. Find a passage back to Old Elnapade so that the Ultima now living in Somerset could learn what became of their old homeland. Little did they realise that you could just see Tamriel from the Somerset Isles. As this book is intended to be a study of Topol the Pilot, there is scarcely room to dedicate the different theories of the Old Mary Exodus from Old Elnapade. If I was using this poem as my only source, I would have to agree with the scholars who believe in a tradition that several ships left old Elnape and were caught in a storm. Those who survived found their way to Somerset Isle without the waystones. They did not know what direction their homeland was, for they did not understand the concept of a compass, or navigating via the stars. After all, what other explanation is there for 3 ships heading? Yeah. Oh yeah, God. Oh God. Hammerfell's definitely anti-Altmer at the moment. And elsewhere is... I don't know. I think there's... The Khajiit are a mess. And that's before you get into the weird fanfiction-y, cat fetishist stuff that some of the Khajiit lore has become. In the 3 opposite directions to find a place. Naturally, only one of the ships returned, and we do not know if either or both of the other 2 found old Elnafe, or perished at sea, or at the hands of the ancient Pyandonians, Slode, or Yakudans. We must assume, unless we think the old are particularly idiotic, which we do, that at least one of them must have been pointing in the right direction. It may well have been Topal, and he simply did not go northeast far enough. So, Topal, setting sail from First Hold, heads northeast, which coincidentally is the longest one can travel along the Abyssinian Sea without striking land of any kind. Had he travelled straight east, he would have struck the mainland somewhere in what was now the Colovian west of Cyrodiil in a few weeks. Had he travelled southeast, he might have reached the hump of Valenwood in a few days. But our pilot, judging by his own and our modern maps, sailed in a straight line northeast, through the Abyssinian Sea and into the Iliac Bay, before touching ground somewhere near present-day Anticlair in 2 months' time. The rolling, verdant hills of southern High Rock are unmistakable in this verse, recognisable to anyone who has been there. The question, of course, is what is to be made of apparent references to orcs occupying the region. Tradition has it that the orcs were not born until after the Ultmer had settled the mainland. Then they sprung up as a distinct race following the famous battle between Triniac and Boethia at the time of Resdain. It is possible that the tradition is wrong. Perhaps the orcs were an aboriginal tribe predating the Old Mary's colonisation. As we all know, the Old Mary liked to make shit up to suit their own. Perhaps these were a curse folk, Orsimer in the Old Maris, the same word for orc, of a different kind, whose name was to be given to the orcs in a different era. It is regrettable that this fragment ends here, for more clues to the truth are undoubtedly lost. What's missing between the first fragment and the second is appreciable. It must be more than 80 months that have passed, because Topal is on the opposite side of the mainland Tamriel by now, attempting to sail southwest to return to First Hold, after his failure at finding Old Elnafe. Fragment... Oh god, how long is this book? Fragment the second. No passage westward could be found in the steely cliffs that jutted up like giant's teeth. So the Nibbon sailed south, as it passed on sandy, forested isle that promised sanctuary and peace. The crew cheered in joy. Then exultation turned to terror as a great shadow rose. From the trees of leathered wings like an unfurling cape, the great bat lizard was as large as a ship, but good pilot Topal merely raised his bow and struck it in its head. As it fell, he asked his boatswain, "You think it's dead?" And before it struck the white-bearded wave, he shouldn't once more at its heart, to be certain. And so for another 40 days and 6, the Nibbon sailed south. We can see that in addition to Topal's prowess as a navigator, cartographer, survivalist, raconteur, he is a master of archery. It may be poetic license, of course, but we do have archaeological proof that the Merepic Oldmer were sophisticated archers. Their bows of layers of wood and horn drawn by silver silk thread are beautiful, and still, I have heard experts say, millennia later, very deadly. It is tempting to imagine it a dragon, but the creature that Topal faces at the beginning of this fragment sounds like an ancestor of the Cliff Racer of modern-day Morrowind, for it made a horrible screeching noise that no one could describe. The treacherous coastline sounds like the region around Necrom, and the island of Gorn. Gorn? I know it's got an E at the end of it, but Gorn? Really? Ugh, what do? Take him out with a bamboo bazooka? Maybe where the rest of the battle lizard is. No creatures like that exist in Eastern Morrowind to my knowledge at the present day. Apart from the mighty Cliff Racer, of course. But they are dead by now. For thanks to St. Jub. Fragment 3. The fetid evil swamplands and their human lizards retreated to the east, and Topal and his men's hearts were greatly gladdened by the sight of diamond blue, pure, sweet ocean. For they realised that the Argonians had been hounding them for days and didn't want to deal with them. For 3 days they sailed in 8 cheer northwest, where First Hold beckoned them, but hope died. In horror, as land, like a blocking shield, rose before them. Topal the pilot was sore wroth, and consulted he the maps he had faithfully drawn to see, where it the best to go south or east, where the continent must end, or take the river that snaked through a passage north. North! He cried to his sad men. North we go, now! Fear not north! Tracing Topal's movements, we see that he has skirted the edge of Morrowind and delves into southern Blackmarsh, seemingly determined to follow his waystone as best as he can. The swamp he is leaving is probably near present-day Gideon. Knowing what we know about Topal's personality, we can understand his frustration in his bay between Blackmarsh and elsewhere. Here is a man who follows his orders explicitly, with no creativity, and knows that he should have been going southeast through riverways to reach First Hold. Looking at his maps, we can see that he attempted to find passages through, as he had mapped, out the inner sea of Morrowind, and several of the swampy tributaries of Blackmarsh. No doubt being turned away by the disease and fierce Argonian tribes has dissuaded many other explorers after him. I mean, remember, these are the people who, when Mehron's Dagon invaded Tamriel, the Argonians retaliated and invaded Oblivion, and won. With a modern map of Tamriel in hand, we can see that he makes the wrong choice in electing to go northeast instead of pushing southward. He could not have known that what he perceived to be the endless mainland was only a jutting peninsula. He only knew that he had travelled too far southward already, and so he made a smart but incorrect decision to go up the river. It is ironic that this great miscalculation would today bear his mark on history. The bay he thought was an endless ocean is now known as Topal Bay, and the river that took him astray shares the name of his boat, the Niven River. Fragment 4. The cat demons of 4 legs and 2 ran the river's lengths, always keeping their boat in their green-eyed sight, hissing and spitting, and roaring with rage. But the sailors never had to brave the shores, for fruit trees welcomed them, dropping their arms down to the river's edge, as if to embrace them, and the men took the fruit quickly before the cat could pounce. For 11 days. You don't fuck with Argonians. The lizard folk, you don't fuck with them. They're smarter than you, they're more civilized than you, and they've been around longer than you, and they will be around longer than you. Through quickly. For 11 days they travelled north, until they came to a crystalline lake, and 8 islands of surpassing beauty and peace. Brilliant, flightful creatures of glorious colours greeted them in Almeri language, making them a wonder until they understood they were only calling back. Damn it, they were parrots, they said. The word they were speaking without understanding it, and then the sailors laughed. Topal the pilot was enchanted with the islands and the feathered men who lived there. There the Niven stayed for the moon, and the bird men learned how to speak their own words, and with talented feet to write. In joy for their new knowledge, they made Topal their lord, giving him their islands for the gift. Topal said he would return someday, but first he must find a passage east, to First Hold so far away. The last fragment is bittersweet for a number of reasons. We know that this strange, friendly, feathered people that pilot island encounter we lost. In fact, this poem is the only one where mention is made of the bird creatures of Cyrodiil, which makes you wonder if they were just making them up. The literacy that Topal gives them is evidently not enough to say, because remember, the Ulmer are deeply racist and embellished their own history. We know that Topal and his crew never found the route from the 8 islands, which are the modern-day Imperial City, through to the Iliac Bay. His maps tell the tale where his last poem cannot. We see his hand as he traces the route up the Niven to Lake Rumer, and after attempting a few tributaries which do not lead him where he wants to go, we can imagine Topal's frustration, and that of his long-suffering crew, as they return back down the Niven to Topal Bay. Yeah, that's exactly what you don't. The Argonians live in like the shittiest land, and they thrive. That's another thing with the Argonians; they thrive in the shittiest land. No one else dares set foot there, but the Argonians thrive there, and yet they can thrive in elsewhere. They can survive in Skyrim. They can survive in Cyrodiil. They can survive anywhere. They are better. They are the best. There, they evidently discovered their earlier mistake, for we see that they passed the peninsula of Elsewhere. Eventually, they just travelled along its coastlines, past the shores of Valenwood, and eventually home. Usually, epic tales end with a happy ending, but this one begins with one, and the means to which it was accomplished is lost. But besides the extraordinary bird folk of present-day Cyrodiil, we have caught glimpses of ancient orcs, perhaps ancient cliff racers, ancient Argonians, and in this fragment, ancient Khajiit. Quite a history and a few lines of simple verse, all because a man failed to find his own and took all the wrong turns to retrace his steps back. Yeah, they make it out like he's a good navigator, and in reality as he seems to be a pretty shit navigator. Okay, to this ruin. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Nord came from frozen shithole as well. Like, because Atmora, as far as we know, is like even colder and more brutal than Skyrim is, and Skyrim's recorded as cold and brutal, so you know, Atmora was even worse. Oh, delicious orc. At least this time I get to eat fresh meat, not recently deceased meat. I know most people eat their meat when it's, you know, dead, but orc likes to eat it alive, feel it wriggle and writhe in our gut before it turns into gut sludge. Ooh. Hello, bandit outlaw. I was gonna wait for my orc to digest. There we go. He's gone. I love how difficult it is to find light armor in Skyrim. Oh, it's actually good. There's so much shite light armor. So I can't think of. I feel like when I rig a special companion like Shirina, I rig them so they have a specific set of what they equip and if. I'm pretty sure she's light armor. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like, the snow elves pre-existed in Skyrim, but were there any elves in Atmora, or did the elves go, nope, this is too cold even for the snow elves? And let... The elves are all a bit of an interesting history. Like, we know that the elves are old, and the Argonians are even older, and Khajiit somewhere in between. And that humanity is the newest. I love how, like, to spawn humanity, we must put them in the most remote places. They're not supposed to reach Cyrodiil. They're not supposed to reach Tamriel, but they will. Make them suffer for it and make them freeze. And again, you got the Akavir. Yeah, so, you know, Akaviri, they're humans. They're, you know, as far as I can tell, Akavir is a perfectly normal place, although which legends of the Seiski believe, whether they are actual snake folk or whether they are just, as ESO really feebly puts them, just human. Ugh. Like, make that take an interesting race concept and just make it worse. I can't see the Spriggans for the trees. I know this is a comical thing to say, is I can't see the Spriggans for the trees, but I legitimately can't. I can't see the tree folk for the trees. I think she's dead, but the fox is now also dead. I mean, oh yeah, the no fall damage perk is funny, and I can see why they brought that back in Fallout 4 for power armor, because it is fun to just go yay and just jump off a cliff. Ooh, dead fish. Yeah, that's such a card. They're trying to be so cool and suave and informative at the same time. Hey, stop stealing my lines. Ebe. Spade? Was that you? Clearly. Everyone's on Nerncool now. I think the problem with Skyrim Light Armor is that, like, it's all very graduated. Like, it's all... There's, like, you got Hide, and then you got Studded, and then you got Scaled, which are, like, all evolutions of the same armor, which is great for, like, giving variety. But it also, like... It's like you give the impression that people are grading their armor as they go, but it's also, that's like all the light armor. The only other two are, well, 3. Well, 4, because you got fur. I'm not counting whole Guardian armor, because that's just whole... Oh no, it's Forsworn as well, but there's loads of really low-grade stuff. The only high-grade stuff is sort of Elven and Glass and Dragon Scale, and that's it. Well, heavy armor, you get a lot more variety, even in the unique stuff. This place is... Why is full with Sprigganland? I guess it is trees. It is wet. The green and pleasant land. I'll leave it. Oh, Spriggans are a DPS check, I'm convinced of it. Oh, is this the... this be where you drink the bitter cup. Yes, this is the Bitter Cup location. They turned it into a use for a Creation Club quest, which... Yes, I have the Bitter Cup. I can never remember how I start that quest, but I have it. Yeah. I mean, Akavir is is interesting. I feel like there's an interesting thing you could do there. I feel like it... Maybe not as, like, the main thing, but it would be an interesting thing to see. But also, it might be one of those cases where it's best left a mystery. Sometimes it's best to leave a mystery than to actually see it. You know, there is always that as a fact. God, I forget how pathetic Fall Creek is. I really need to finish off my Fall Creek Expanded mod. It's just kind of pathetic. This is a whole capital and it's barely a village. I am just holding my arm like there is a torch in it. But I do not have a torch. And channel, mate. Oh, yeah, I've hit level 20 there for Silas Vesuvius.
Looks like that's it. Got to go.
I must read the museum pamphlet. Silas Vesuvius presents the Museum of the Mythic Dawn, a history of the cult that toppled the Septim Dynasty inside of his very own home in the great capital of the Pale, Dawnstar, free and open to all citizens of Skyrim, and all tourists. They have to pay a donation. Now, I question what Silas's game plan there is. You know, to be free. You know, does he just have like a donation box that he rattles after the first few visitors? It's like, donations, donations. Yes, I must course to this whack of the Jarl. Because best do this before the Civil War. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. It is just nice that. I mean, which is weird that Marin's Razor is a Daedric artifact that did not exist in Oblivion, unless you had DLC. It was a DLC item. It was broken.
You sure you shouldn't be home in bed?
When did I contract a disease? Oh, I contracted ataxia at some point. Oh. And I never once noticed it.
Good to see you. Finally, someone useful is around.
I've got your letter.
Ah, it's you. Yes.
Yeah.
Now we'll see if the story.
Yeah, the Mythic Dawn are pretty much gone. There's one nutty cup, all led by Vonos, that still exists, and that's about it. I'll deal with them when I reach an appropriate level.
Now it's time to clean things up. Go and take care of it.
You would just right, sure. You want me to kill bandits? Fine. I hope I get some food. Right.
Execute every last
Bandit.
Spare no one.
Okay, you want me to kill them? Kill them all. I can accept that order. Killing all the bandits is the best way to kill bandits, you know. Now, I'm just going to point out that in the post channel of my YouTube channel, God, post chat. Okay, no, it's the posts tab of the YouTube channel, I guess. Makes it less confusing than channel for channel. But there is a poll about which Civil War faction this Shark will follow. And no, I saw a wolf, but no dogs.
The blacksmith is offering a reward for a dog he saw on the road.
Ah, another Daedric quest.
Hoping you'd seen it. I guess I'll stay on the lookout. Keep your nose clean while you're here, outsider.
Outsider. No, there's a poll all in the post tab about which Civil War faction this Shark should join. Because, and yes, I've got all 4 options. And you're thinking, 4 options? Yeah, oh god, please no Morphal. Please, I don't want to go Morphal. I don't want to have to deal with the bridge. I just don't want to have to deal with the bridge. I really don't want to deal with the bridge. Please, anything with the bridge. I don't want to deal. I don't have to look at it. I don't want to deal with it. That bridge is traumatizing me. 6 fucking hours. Wait a second. We're speaking of the Mythic Dawn right now, and yet suddenly, where am I? Oh, tasty orc! Hey, wait, I can get light armor here.
Never should have come here. Now ain't this a surprise?
Yo, this is a surprise. Well, you died way quicker than I expected you to. I didn't expect to one-shot you.
You think you stand a chance?
Oh, for fuck's sake, man! Did you...
Skin you alive.
I honestly expect... No, I don't ask why I was doing the dance there. You know what? I'm just gonna eat this one alive. I'm not even gonna strike him and weaken him first. Hey, you. Yeah, you. There we go. Eat. You're so fucking weak. Get in my fucking belly. Yes, run away. You. Get in my fucking gut. Fine. I'll kill your corpse. I'll eat your corpse. That's embarrassing. I was hoping I could eat him whole. Right, and you're just gonna stand there. Right, can I perk? Good. Maybe now I can actually eat this loser. Or not. You know, I can definitely. And no, the perk tree is not really a tree. It's sort of you very much unlock them in order. It's. Yeah, might as well get the Maven's Razor Shard one right next door. Get in my fucking gut. He's running away. Finally. He's not going to last long in there, but still. Get in my fucking gut. While I loot your place. Ooh, elven armor. I want some Orsinium ingots, also known as Orichalcum. There we go. Into the Maidon's Razor. It's... Like, since we're here, we might as well. Oh no, my ataxia is harming my ability to lockpick. Oh, ataxia is such a... not issue. Oh, pickpocketing is worse. Okay, but who pickpockets in Skyrim? It's... Granted, it's funny. Don't get me wrong, it is a hilarious perk when you just get all the perk points in it and just strip someone naked. It's funny, don't get me wrong, but it's not good. You know what? While we digest this orc, let's just not squish our belly against the table. That just hurts.
You picked a bad...
Oh no, an orc marauder! Well, that was far more pathetic than I thought. Are these orcs really all this bad? Are they really all just one-shots? I'm not that powerful. Right.
What you gonna do, huh?
What you gonna do? Eat you alive? Yeah. Or, I don't know, Shireen's gonna beat your head in and smash your skull in one hit. That works too. Yeah, I'm not giving up. But I'm gonna... Yeah. Yeah, no one has money in Skyrim. There's, like, almost nothing worth actually pickpocketing in Skyrim. Like, it's the Bedlam job where you just gotta steal so much valuable. Oh, so I'm gonna never take the pickpocketing jobs. Because you will never make any money out of them. Oh, Gunzul! Oh my god, you can survive a hit! But this, you get to die with dignity. In my gut. There we go. Tasty, tasty orc. Ooh, a Welky stone. Oh, I'll just take his librarian. I'll loot his entire library while we're here. Yep, pickpocketing also, like, the vanilla max chance is 90, so it just encourages save scumming. You know, if there was a perk that says getting detected pickpocketing, you could, you're skilled enough that you can brush it off, basically, as a perk. That I wouldn't mind, because then it will make that 90% chance like there's a risk, but you're not just save scumming for it. But it's such a save scummy system because the penalty for getting caught is too aggressive, considering the very pathetic bonus. Oh god, yeah. The one, if you, yeah, there's a reason. Like, I always take the numbers jobs, and you just pointed it out. It's like, yes, it's like the most pathetically easy quest. Like, it's comically easy. You just walk into a place of business, find the ledger, done. It doesn't even really have any sort of issue. Oh, yeah, the key's in here. Gotta wait until he's a little bit solid. I can't get that gut key out of him yet, so guess I gotta wait for him to digest a bit. We've come into a problem with eating him. Oh well. I'll just do some alchemy while he turns into mush. I mean, we were needing alchemy for a while. Oh no. Do I have any giant toes? No. In which case, mash production, mash production. Get my level up makes things harder. And this is another part of, like, I've deliberately built Skyrim in a way that, like, over-leveling is not a good thing. Ooh. Ah, shit, I ate my Daedra heart. Oh well, there goes my Daedra heart. Oh well. I'll get it back by the time I need it. And yes, I've massively reduced the value of alchemy items. Some are still way too valuable. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's another... Like, and getting the stolen shit back depends on the hold. Sometimes it's really easy to get it back. Sometimes it's, like, in a really obnoxious plot where the guards watch it for, like, 90% of the day. It's just annoying. And it's never worth it either. Or you can just murder the NPC in their sleep and take their items and not have them flagged as stolen for the rest of the game. So it's like, it's not even beneficial in that way. Ooh. I have leveled up via alchemy. Oh no. Well, I see my gut getting smaller, so my alchemy will must be digesting. Maybe he'll have the key on him after all. Ooh, delicious human heart. I should have eaten that. Oh well. I guess I've eaten a whole orc. I counted legendary dragons, like, legitimately, like, 5 times at most. And most of them are on stream. In fact, I'm pretty... Like, most of them, I think, if not all of them, are on stream. I've genuinely never actually come across many, because I've got... My dragon pool is quite big. Yeah, I've got the diverse dragons collection, so I've got a hell of a lot of dragon variety, so actually seeing a vanilla legendary is quite rare. I think, like, it's an oddly rare occurrence. Of course, I buffed my dragons to actually be dangerous, unlike vanilla, where they're kind of hopeless. But because they're so squishy. They're made out of wet tissue paper. Not quite Bird levels, but still pretty close. Oh well, honeycomb plus and root. Ah, plus Darkwing equals spooky. Oh, I know what I need to do. No, but it is mash production, mash production, mash. Yeah, because the dragons are the only things in Skyrim that scale like above level 30. It's strange. So much of Skyrim is, I think, some of the outside DLC, like DLC areas. Like, I know Solstheim is higher level. I think that goes up to about 40. But most of Skyrim is comically low level. Like, even like Draugr, I think, stop at like level 40. My diseased nippers. Let's find one effect on these bloody awful things. And if you're wondering why I call them diseased nipple, I mean... Right, it looks like a diseased nipple. Yeah. Sort of gross purple colour. I know Imstool has the magic paralysis effect on it. Well, ooh, that's a new one. I always thought I'd find a new effect. Mash production, mash production. Oh, the Sunset Shadows. I've never had a bug with that one. But I also... I wonder what the bug is. Oh! Yeah, dragons' interiors are... Yeah, they're iffy. I wonder my dragon spawn in there? 'Cause I've used Diverse Dragon Collection for years and I've never had a dragon spawn in there. But I've never had a dragon spawn inside that wasn't, off my own... better words, off my own doing. I've had a couple of cases where a dragon spawned inside off my own doing, but it's been strictly spoken a summoned one, so it has the summon reset, so it stops it doing some of the jankier shit. There we go. There. Yeah. Key covered in a bit of saliva and maybe just a little bit of orc blood. And guts. Yeah, so go here. Get the potion of healing. Trigger every trap. What? La manita. Right, how do I get in here? Yeah. Surely to say. I don't think they'd expect me to trigger it and then stop. I mean, they tried to booby trap it. They didn't do a very good job of booby trapping it, but they tried. Again, these are the world's weakest orcs, so they probably thought that would stop them. Oh yeah, I leveled up, didn't I, because of alchemies. Put my health up a level. Yeah, not worth it. Oh, do I have the all-important speech perks? Yes, I do. The all-important fence. I made it so you could unlock fence at any level because it bothered me because there's so few fences in Skyrim. And you have to do Fug's Guild to access them, and just having anything with a random bloody stolen flag, just irritating. Ooh. More dual-wieldy power. Oh no! What causes these, I wonder? Do. Oh, that triggered a booby trap. Well, here's the boob. And here's the trap! Well, that one doesn't even work. Well, that was an easy booby trap, so... press the button. Ooh. Money. The manicular variety. Ooh, steel plate. I know I don't have steel gauntlets, so... like, gauntlets? Yep. They're technically worse. Because, you know, I need some... I can't say it. Corundum. Ugh. Yeah, I think it is, actually. I think it probably is the most traps in a very small area. You're right, I think it is actually the small... I'm not even sure if Mercer's got so many traps per inch. I think in terms of, like, most traps in the smallest in the room. Definitely not in a cell. Mercer's probably going for it, I think, in cell, but... in terms of in a actual small, in a singular room, I think it actually is. Oh no! Forbidden Legend! The Guldo Amulet! Oh no! Whatever shall I do? I've started the Forbidden Legend of the three useless brothers! Right. We're gonna take a big butt out of the way. I mean, I know that's hard to say when you've seen Shork Bum. We've both got big arses. We're short, we've got big powerful hips, which leads to a big powerful arse. Which does mean that, yeah, oops, chair broken, but on the plane I'm going to need 2 seats mentality. Oh, that's just an error. Right. Actually, I know what I'm doing. Where are you? Hey, you. Yeah, you. Have some better armor.
Got your back.
I need to trade some things with you.
What do you want me to carry?
You know this armor? Yeah, I think I... light orcish. Because... hey. Oh. They didn't have gloves! She actually still has no glove. She still has no gloves. But...
You lead, I'll follow.
she started with no gloves, she still has no gloves. Oh god, I thought I think my... let's play the game of whose arse is proportionally larger. So let's put some orcish armor on. I think our arses might be equal, or mine might be slightly bigger. I know I'm definitely slightly wider up. And definitely slightly wider shoulder-wise. Yeah, I mean, I'm not wearing light orcish, it's light armor. And it sort of did it as this is sort of what I did with a lot of the Creation Club armors, because I was sick that they were all bloody heavy armors, is because they all looked like lighter versions and just vanilla heavy armors. I decided, let's make them heavier. Let's make them light armor, but have heavy armor stats. So that they are technically light armor, to give Skyrim more variety in light armor, especially since most armor in Skyrim is heavy. Because when you think, like, you got the bone mold, that's all heavy. You've got the... And the reason I... Ooh, wolf. Three wolves are slaughtered, because I'm sure I killed 2 earlier. I know I killed at least... Darina killed 1, which counts. Companion kills are still kills. Oh yeah, it was that... How much is that way? Yeah, the Khajiit lore is just a fucking mess. Like, it's genuinely just a mess. I'm convinced it's written by someone with a cat fetish. Because it's weird. It's one of those things that's like, and I don't think Morrowind, Oblivion, or Skyrim ever makes any sort of direct reference to the non-standard Khajiit humanoid variants. The only ones they seem to make mention to are the Sabercat style ones. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. Are you a high level Hallowed Dragon? Possibly. Potion of... You know what, let's just... Oh, shitty... Oh my god, I am actually dark. Potion of minor healage, that'll do. Right, I'm just gonna... There we go. I was gonna say that miss. I must be over level because I'm actually some... Okay, what I'm gonna do is take something I never usually do. Stamina potions. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've disabled like all the armor quests because it bothered the crap out of me how bad they were. Like a lot of the Creation Club quests I've stripped out because they weren't a proper quest. They were just, here, have some overpowered gear, really, like endgame gear right at the beginning of the game. It's, oh god, the spells one, that's the worst. Because that's just like, here, have an arsenal of the most overpowered spells in the entire game. Now. Did the dragon actually get... I'm surprised I didn't get sync kills. Normally when I'm that's why I'm thinking it must be such a low level, but it's giving me combat music. Also, the beam attacks almost never hit at the best times, and I can kind of see why Vanilla Skyrim never did it. Although, if it hits near... I mean, I'm in an ideal spot, a hill, so it doesn't really hit me very well. Because I've got more that makes my dragons bigger, but it does kind of make that breath accuracy a bit bad. So, to compensate, I made it so the breath hit attacks hit much harder, and have a big AoE, but if I stand next to this rock, for example, I should take a bit more damage from it. Assuming this idiot can actually hit me, like so. Note how, if I stand... When I said they have like a sort of big AoE, it's just to make up for the fact that they don't hit. Well, that was actually much easier than I anticipated. Given the last dragon encounter I encountered was bite, dead, grab, kill, instantly. That actually went surprisingly well. Oh no, this poor trade caravan, whatever shall I do? I know, loot its corpse. And then use healing to heal. Ooh, an elven greatsword. Back out this... Oh. Yay, restoration hits hit level 20. Can you tell I don't use magic very often? Oh yeah, Diverse Dragons is really weird because what it does is it's got... Each dragon type has a level-scaled variant equivalent to a vanilla dragon, but they all have the same name. So that could be Hallowed Dragon equivalent to Dragon, or it could be Hallowed Dragon equivalent to Ancient Dragon, or it could be Hallowed Dragon equivalent to Revered Dragon, Or it could be equivalent to a legendary. You'd never know. When I turned a few of them into Dragonesses, basically feminized them, I deliberately renamed them all so they got like a... Like, the equivalent of a basic dragon will be Young, for example. Let's just demonstrate by putting up the name Dragoness in. If you notice, it's like, okay, so we're going to put Arcane Dragoness in, because we know that they're a specific type. So if you notice, it's got Legendary Variant, two different breath types, Revered, Ancient, Elder, Regular, Young, and Lesser. So you got the variant. Oh, Roxy. Ooh, Roxy, I can actually go in! It's even better. I love when you can actually waddle in there. But that's what it always seemed to be really awkward for scaling, is because it kind of is. Oh, hello, Bandit. I need my daily fix of sugar. I need my sugar, goddammit. Khajiits taste like sugar because of all the moon sugar. It's in the blood. Even if they never consume moon sugar, it's generational. I think I've depleted the ore vein. Ore vein... That sounds like an elf name. Hello, Bandit Outlaw. Goodbye, Bandit Outlaw. I said goodbye, Bandit Outlaw. I think this is the one that Boethia wants me to go kill silently at some point. But hey, you can kill it silently if you've been there before. Like, oh yeah, Become Ethereal is hilarious. I love that shout. It's easily one of my favourite shouts, and one of the few I actually use on the regular. Oh, hello, Bandit Outlaw. With your steel crossbow. Which, if this was vanilla, would be hitting as hard as a Daedric bow, which, yeah, is kind of stupid. You know, I've not got the Creation Club crossbows, because they are even more balance problemed. I've just got the old crossbow collection mod, which... Ooh, did I hear... I hear Lizard Wizard. Oh, that is a rare... I do not care that this one is not living. I need to feed. Too delicious, too rare. Rare delicacy. Right. What was that? I don't know, just me eating you wizard. It's fine. Are you Oh god, were these clone brothers? Oh god, I think they were... No, they weren't. Sometimes you get the clone brothers, and I always... There is one time, it wasn't in Skyrim, was it? It was in Fallout 4, where I had 3 clones in the same place. It was in Ticonderoga, the railroad, it's like sub-base, and there was 3 of the railroad agents were all exactly the same. It was the clone army. I thought it was the Institute that was making soulless clones, not the railroad, but clearly the railroad was... Maybe they were all ex-synths. It was weird. Hello, Bandit Sheepy. Well, I'll take your steel plate stuff because it's worth money. Ah, iron. Yeah, they are so unbelievably weak. I mean, I buffed the Flame Breath Shout and the Ice Breath Shout because, frankly, they were so weak, and when enemies used them, I just laughed because they were kind of too weak. You just laughed at them because they were so bad. And yes, it buffs the enemy version as well. I buffed the enemy version as well, so I get hit by a Flame Breath Shout, it hurts. But I also buffed it so that it was actually usable. And the Ice Breath, apparently, I've heard that can be used... The Ice Breath Shout can be used to force dragons to land. I have never witnessed that personally, even in video form, but apparently it's a thing. New Vegas is... Oh, so stiff and clunky. Like, it also has a very questionable writing in places. I feel that the stuff written by the lead writer, Chris Avellone, and all that's a bit... It's out of place and a bit incest... You know, it's a bit incelly at times. You know, abuse directed towards women seems pretty normal in the Avellone written stuff, and it's all a bit... all a bit incel-y and it's a bit uncomfortable. And not in a... like a... this is... it's like... it's all very one way. And it's... but it's also really stiff and clunky, and it has an absolute hatred for guns. Which is hilarious given how gun-porny some of its guns are. And yet, it has this real love affair of melee. Like, melee gets, like, broke. You can stun lock so easily with melee. Like, you get a certain perk and you just stun lock with melee. Melee, you can also get melee that just ignores armor. You know, pretty much all the armor. There's so many balance issues with New Vegas. Mostly melee. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be a... you know, if shouts were the way they were described in lore, that would be a fancy battle. I'm still heading towards Pine Watch, because apparently Pine Watch is miles from Falkreath. Where? I don't remember killing Pine Watch. Which bandits did he want me to kill? Do you want me to kill... was he actually telling me to kill Knife Point Ridge? I thought he always sent you to Pine Watch. Huh. No wonder I didn't feel like I was going towards Pine Watch, because I wasn't. Huh. Oh yeah, Lonesome... oh yeah, Lonesome Road is a really bad self-insert fanfic. It gives backstory to a character that should never have had backstory, aka Courier 6, your player character. The whole point of Courier 6 is they have no backstory. And Lonesome Road tries to give them this really, really long, convoluted one. And fun fact! The Ulysses fanfic also it sort of is in the background of Old World Blues, and also I believe in Dead Money, which is the worst thing I have played for a long time. I suffered it once on stream. I am never suffering that fucker again. That is the only time I have ever played it. It is the only time I will ever play it. Oh, why are you so weak? Oh. With pity, I will eat your corpse. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, New Vegas' melee is broken, but at least it's fun broken. It's not... Fallout 4's melee is broken in a really unfun way. In that, Fallout 4 melee is... let me demonstrate. Let's pretend this is an NPC. I will go swing. Oh, they'll block at instant speed and I'll go boing and recoil backwards and do no damage to them. Even if I have a super sledge that does like 300 damage, and they are blocking with their bare fists. Oh, and you do it against an enemy and they're gun bashing, they gun bash you out of your melee attack. Or you go into Vatch, you're functionally invincible, and you kind of teleport around and instantly kill everything with the Blitz perk. It's so bad. It's so broken in such an unfun way. It's better if you play third person, in that the melee has a bit more going on for it. Oof, more wolves are slaughtered, but it's still not a great experience. I've tried to tune it so the blocking is less obnoxious, and it's still not a great experience. Yeah, I mean, Dead Money is... I feel like if New Vegas wasn't so stiff and clunky, it's sort of... elf survival horror aspect of it would have been more fun. Like, I feel like if it wasn't mechanically so jank, its mechanics would have worked in a better game that was built around those mechanics. But, and the story is a mess, and why the fuck do they have fucking replicators straight out of Star Trek? Just why? Just no. Even the fucking aliens in the series don't have that level of technology. The Institute, which has near-alien levels of tech, doesn't have that level of technology. No one has the fucking replicator level of technology. And yet, nope, they just casually added it in for New Vegas DLCs into a random fucking casino. It bothers me so much. It just bothers me. And then there's the whole way you enter that DLC. It's like, ooh, a really obvious trap. Let's just walk right into it. Ooh, I'm gassed. Even though I'm in a gas mask armor. And it's really bad. It's not like even an ambush. It's just a really blatant, obvious trap. And then you just get gassed and then have all your shit taken off you by what is, in essence, a single fucking old man. It's even more embarrassing when you remember that. At least when that same shit was pulled in Fallout 3, they had like an Enclave strike team of heavily armored soldiers taking you out, and canonically you are just a kid in Fallout 3.
Strangers like you bring war.
it just bothers me. It's one of those really bad scenarios. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's always. I think, I'm not quite sure if Fallout 1 had aliens or not. I know they sort of exist as a background gag in 2. They made their first proper appearance, I think, in 3. But I know they definitely were implied to exist in 2. I don't know if they actually were seen. Yeah, killed. Yeah, oh god, he actually did want me knife point, Reg.
Teach them to stop paying me. Here.
The Sigin now Bowie for you. How many people want those nice bandits dead?
I like you. You're not afraid.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 in New Vegas over the years, and okay, Fallout New Vegas and 3 via Tale of Two Wastelands for Fallout New Vegas, because I can't live without iron sights, I'm sorry. Is there anything else you need, Asbag?
There is room in my court for
Oh yes, I can be thin.
title mainly, but there are a few perks. However, I could only you help my people.
Okay,
I'll make on your way then.
I can be feigned now. I can't buy property until I've been feigned, I don't think. Okay. Ooh, Canadian. Right, where is Stuart?
Be careful.
Come on, Stuart. Where are you? Stuart Ard, where are you? I want to buy my house.
I'm the steward.
Let's put it in my home.
There's no house available, but I could sell you a fine piece of land.
That'll do.
You could build. You won't regret it.
Thank you, Elven Lady.
For your steading. Follow the road east from Falkreath, then north at the crossroads. Turn left just past Pine Watch.
Ah, Pine Watch. Yes, that well-known bandit camp.
May wisdom forever light your path.
Wisdom there. Oh yeah. Oh no. No. Yeah, it was Big Mountain in general, but at least Big Mountain is all portrayed as a fucking joke. Like everything in Big Mountain is treated as a joke. At least, in fact, all of Old World Blues is treated as just this huge joke of a thing. Like I can. Well, Dead Money is taken so seriously, so the weird Big Mountain stuff being there, Big Mountain Replicator, it's all just, it's so tonally off and clashing. Oh, yeah, like, Big Mountain is like, you've got no fucking brain for all of it. Like, that's just, the whole thing is done in such a silly way. Like, and to the point where you could argue that because your brain was removed for the whole thing, was anything you actually saw there real? You can start questioning whether it actually was real, which I think is, you know, an interesting concept with it. You know, excuse me, I'm just gonna let you go while they're distracted, and then watch these idiots try realize I'm not siding either side yet. I'm just giving that guy a chance for freedom. The bandits shot his cables out. Oh, there's a sort of legendary event. Everything, I think. Oh, he didn't even stagger off. Oh, in which case, fine. I'll just come up and eat your pathetically delicious Bosmer ass. If I can sort of waddle around. Stamina. This is the problem of heavy armor existence. Ooh, Dornbo. Ooh, a less rude song. We won't read that. Oh no, it's Karumbo. Yeah, I mean, there's Korean plot. I mean, player character plot armor. Fallout 4 gets that really bad with certain quest lines, like the Institute's Anti-Brotherhood of Steel mission. Oh god, player plot armor is at its actual highest there. It's really egregious, to the point where it feels like a fail-safe option, because I feel like you're meant to side Brotherhood in Fallout 4. They just gave you a choice, because that was the in thing at the time. You know what? Do I have heavy armor porkage? Porkage, yes. Yes, I do. I can make my heavy armor a bit better. Ooh, yes, tasty outlaws. Lovely tasty outlaws. I must wait for this. It's pathetic. Yes, keep hacking at your friend in my fat gut. Yes, he is dying. You're tenderizing my meal. It's good every time. There we go. Now I'm going to eat you. Now, there we go. Ah, Into my belly, little delicious Khajiit. As I mash 2 buttons with my fat fingers. I have very fat, flat fingers. No! The most powerful... No wonder the trap failed. The kettle got stuck. Really stuck. There we go. Bonk. There was just... how is this guy... There we go. I was going to say, how is this guy still alive? Like, that's actually impressive that he survived as long as he did against that bear. I am now going to go to my new home. Oh yeah, it does have infinite leveling. Strictly speaking, that wasn't the first either. Skyrim has it in a patch. You can functionally infinitely level. And Oblivion, you could infinitely level, weirdly enough. 5 wolves are slaughtered. 6 wolves are slaughtered. In fact, we have arrived at house. It is just a plot of land, but it is an house. To be. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, the Securitron legions are pretty good. Securitron, and again, they kind of stun lock because the explosive stun lock, and they spam explosives like there's no tomorrow, so they're always kind of dangerous. Right, let's build an house. Right, we have plotted out a house. That was quick. Look. Hey. I like how it's... Oh, what the... Where's some crap here? I like how the pegs are solid, but the actual string isn't. So you don't get... I just saw another wolf. I have to. It's the law. Come back here. Come back here. 7 wolves are slaughtered. 8 wolves are slaughtered. Wow, that's going up. Oh, it possibly has got like a yeah, it might have a internal base leveling limit. It used to be like 81, I believe, but then because of the way making skills legendary exists, it gets to a point. I don't think it has a hard cap so much that it just soft caps to a point where you're never realistically going to get it up. Let's read Beginner's Guide to Homesteading, because we are going to start homesteading, so maybe we should read this. If you're like most people, you've always dreamed of owning your own steading and building your own home, but where to start? Never fear, you hold in your hands the guide to everything you need to know. Before long, you'll be gazing complacently across your well-tended lands from the porch of your own manor house. Getting started. There are 2 vital pieces of equipment that a prospective homeowner needs: the drafting table and the carpenter's workbench. Your drafting table is where you'll lay out the plans for each stage of your new home. Don't worry about making a mistake here. You can always change your mind, and making a new plan costs nothing. Remember, measure twice, cut once. Or in my case, measure 5 times, cut once. Still get it wrong because you measured wrong and the leg's like 2 inches short. The other leg was fine, but one leg was 2 inches short. I still don't know how I fucked that measurement up. Well, your carpenter's workbench is where you'll do the actual construction. Yeah, I mean, through integer limits, and Skyrim's integer limit is, realistically, it probably is about the 3,200, 30,000-ish, just over there. Your carpenter's workbench is where you'll do the actual construction. Once you've settled on a plan at the drafting table, you can start building your house at the carpenter's workbench. Avoid the common beginner's mistake. Don't try to build the roof without building the proper supports first. Remember, this isn't The Sims. We won't stop you from doing it, except we will. Space for the family. If you have a spouse or children, you will certainly want to get a house in a livable state as soon as possible. Your loving spouse will no doubt make it do with nothing more than a roof over her head and a bed to sleep in. Shouldn't it be their head? I mean, Skyrim not only lets you have completely free marriage, you can marry whoever you want, male or female. It's like, this implies that... This is just weird. But what about the children? Don't worry, all they need is a dress, a chest, and a bed to store their treasures, and they will be perfectly content. Building materials. You will still need a lot of supplies to complete your house, but it isn't necessary to gather everything you need ahead of time. Unless you're in a hurry, you can just build in stages as materials become available. You'll enjoy watching your home progress from dream to reality. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the intro. I like just having the little house sometimes. I think sometimes the little house is nicer. But also the way to do it is to just get a steward and tell it to purchase things as necessary and just wait a load of time and then they'll build it all for you. Just got to build the exterior shell, you know. The most common materials you'll need are sawn logs, cut stone, and clay. Luckily, these are plentiful in Skyrim. In fact, most building sites will have one or more easily accessible sources of clay or stone. For sword lumber, any lumber mill owner will be glad to sell and deliver as much as you need. You'll need lots of nails. Unfortunately, even a novice blacksmith will soon find themselves turning iron into nails with ease. Which is hilarious, because making nails is actually really quite difficult blacksmithery. It's one of the harder things to do is make nails. Weirdly enough. When you turn to finishing your completed house, you'll need a much wider variety of materials. Some of them, such as straw and glass, are commonly obtained from general goods stores, except the leveled lists say fuck you. For the rest, the whole of Skyrim will become your general store. Hiring a steward. Once your estate is well established, you may wish to consider hiring a steward to help manage your affairs. A good steward can be invaluable, from hiring a carriage driver, to buying a cow, to keeping you supplied with building materials, freeing you to enjoy the fruits of your labours. Before hiring a steward, it's advisable to bring a potential candidate to your manor and observe whether they are a good fit for your requirements. Remember, you are putting your entire estate into their hands. You need someone you can trust implicitly. Building your house. The rest of this guide will review plans for each room that you might want to build. It's a small house. Before you get too ambitious, gain confidence by building this tidy cottage. It is the perfect starter home and might turn out to be all you need. But don't worry, if you decide to keep building, you can remodel this into an entryway to the rest of your house. Yeah. I mean, I like to have like sort of one as the small cottage, and then build the other two appropriately. Oh yeah, the stewards make the house building, because some of the materials are rare as fuck, especially vanilla. Again, Solitude Underarch has a builder's merchant. Plug. The main hall. You may decide a small house is not enough. Perhaps you need room for a growing family. The next step is to add a main hall, which will turn your cottage into an imposing manor house. 2 floors, including space for 2 small bedrooms, and a bathroom and a large dining area. Additions. Once you've built a main hall, your options become almost unlimited. There's not that many combinations. You now have room to add 3 more additional wings, if you decide you still need more space. For each wing, you have 3 choices of what to build, giving a total of 9 possible additions. But remember, you can only build 3 of them, so choose wisely. Oh, I always have problems with glass and goat horns. So often glass and goat horns. Oh god, they are the worst. West Wing bedrooms. The bedroom addition is perfect if you have a family who needs more comfortable living quarters than the main hall affords. The bedroom has space for a master bedroom plus 2 children's beds, as well as all the dressers, wardrobes, etc. that anyone could desire. This addition also includes a spacious exterior porch. West Wing greenhouse. Perhaps you are a gardener at heart. If so, the greenhouse provides room for planters where you can grow almost whatever you wish, sheltered from Skyrim's harsh climate. Tend and harvest your crops from the comfort of your own home. The Enchanter's Tower West Wing. If your interests lie in the magical realm, this tower addition is for you. Conduct your research in privacy and comfort. Plenty of space for keeping your collections and artifacts organized. And the view from the tower is guaranteed to take your breath away. Unless you look into the cliff. West Wing North. Storage room. If you simply need more space to store your many hoardings, build yourself a storage room. This including porch can be even connected to the porch of the east or west wings if you build the bedroom or armory additions. Huh, I forgot that actually connected. I kind of forgot about that. North wing trophy room. I picked the greenhouse a few times just because I wanted the sloped roof. I really wish you could have the option for the roof or the porch though. as an independent thing. The Enchanter's Tower, I don't think I've ever bothered with either, to be fair. Because I think I did it once just to get the trophy for building one of each bit, and that's it. Are you a big game hunter who wants to show off your prizes? The Trophy Room provides space for displaying up to 7 magnificent mounted specimens of your choice, sure to amuse and impress your guests. Alchemy Laboratory. Perfect for an aspiring alchemist, this tower edition will give you plenty of space and storage to hone your crafting comfort, and when you need a break from brewing potions, enjoy a roof from the tower roof. East Wing. Armory. If you'd like nothing better than to spend a day hammering metal or simply a collector of armor and weapons, the Armory is for you. With space for smithing as well as plenty of room to display your martial collections in style, the Armory is the perfect addition to any house. East Wing. Kitchen. The kitchen provides everything you need to pursue the highest culinary arts. Tired of cooking everything in a pot over the fire? You can even equip it with a newfangled oven! Library. The library tower is sure to please those who value literature. With space for all the bookshelves you could desire, you'll be able to enjoy your collection of books in style. Or perhaps take a book to the tower roof and enjoy the view of your setting. There we go. Now the problem is, a lot of the sites aren't that great. Like this one, like why would you build a tower on the right because there's a big cliff in the way? Same with a porch on the right. Which is, okay, oh my god. 9 wolves are slaughtered. Places like Wolf Central. Yeah, I mean the bedrooms look so nice. That's the thing. I wish if I could have a slopey roof on the bedroom, I'd probably pick the bedroom more often. But I just don't like the. So I don't like that you have to have certain roof with certain thing. Like I wish the interior was separate. Well, let's build a foundation, the wall framing, and the walls, and the floor, and the roof framing, but not the roof. So I want to see what it looks like without a roof. There we go. We got without a roof. Have we got a door? No, we haven't got a door hole. So this is our house. This will be our home. Right, this will be our small little house. I think this is actually the first one Stream owns. I don't think it actually owns Broom's home. And there we go. We'll also build the animal pen, the apiary, and a smelter. I haven't got enough logs for the ammo logs. There, we've got a nice little house now. We're out of logs though. See, this is why I sometimes like to have just like. I also wish you could just put one of the little buildings on the back. Just have like a little house, just a little bit more freedom. Let's harvest my geese. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the towers are usually ones I tend not to go with because they just look a bit awkward. Especially the sort of side ones, they tend to look the most awkward. The back one less so, but you also tend to want the porch at the back. Again, I wish I could kind of have like the more interesting rooms without having to have, because the sloped roof at the back looks kind of weird. Again, I wish I could sort of have interiors separate from exteriors. That would have been nice. That's just a bit of a limit of it. I might as well smelt some shit while I'm here. I'm sure I've got some shit to smelt. And yes, these times 10 on the smelting recipes are just something I put in for my own click sanity. There we go. I've got no armor workbench. Oh yeah, my butt still eats my bolts. I say it would be nice just to have like a little outbuilding, or it would just be a nice thing to have like things independently, rather than because if you take away from the hall, they wouldn't actually be connected. It would be like a little farm you could have like without the main hall, because the main hall sort of extends outwards a bit, so you could sort of see where it would go. It sort of goes over this rock. Like, it would be nice to just have them as, like, little outbuildings. Which, again, would also make the town... Like, just make them a little bit more interesting. Just a little bit more freedom. Without actually changing much. Would actually be really fun, but it's also something I've never seen any modder really mess with. Oh god, yeah, the triple towers is certainly a look. I know I did it once just for the trophy. Or Steam achievement. Right, I'm going to park myself here because I think this is a great place to sort of park up. Because, you know, this is unfortunately the end of the stream. There's definitely a sort of... I feel like the best looking house is you got the slope roof on each side, and then the porch at the back, or the tower at the back. If you want to make the worst, I think the worst looking house is probably tower. You know, tower here. No, tower there. Flat there, because you don't get a particularly great view. And then slopey roof there, just for the maximum awkward. I feel like there's so many awkward positions. And now I'm just going to do the usual end of stream dress up time. You gotta see how Shark looks in armour. So we'll start from the top. We'll start with this belted tunic. He squeezed it into some standard robes. Like, kind of blending a little bit with a scale skin colour. You know, yellow and slightly greeny yellow. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd combination, but it is what it is. And look, I can look down at my boobs. Nice. It's nice to be able to just look down and see your own tits. It's nice. Not just in games. Going to put some black mage robes on. I don't feel like much for black mage. I feel like black mages wear blue robes. Let's get out of these and into some. Oh, that's better. Hood! But they are more black magey robes in that they're blue because black mages wear blue robes. Remember? Some elven armour. Yeah, not bad looking armour. And yes, I've sort of restored it so I got like the full plate one for like the normal armour. The light armour is the crop top. And then I mean, yeah. Oh, Dawnguard is a mess under the hood. Like, do not... Like, Dawnguard sells armor. So much messy stuff with Dawnguard. You've got the fine clothes, which always are a bit of an unflattering colour. And look at Big Shark bum. Big bum. Shark has big bum. We got the 500 varieties of fur, which I'm not going to demonstrate because we've seen those before. Same with hide, we've seen that. Same with iron, we've seen that. Like Orcish, we never really got a good look at it. Anyway, it's sort of, big jockey bum. You can sort of see that it's like, instead of having like chainmail trousers, it's just got like leather trousers. Like, Half-Fire is probably the least jank of the DLCs, to be fair. Because there's definitely some jank in Dragonborn. It's not as jank, it's much more polished than Dawnguard. Dawnguard is a mess. We've looked at the Mythic Dawn... Actually, did we look at the Mythic Dawn robes? Because I actually went out my way to fix them. Because they didn't really work. Oh yeah, we've got ragged robes. I mean, actually not... The ragged robes actually aren't that bad. Although, I am questioning how likely a nip slip is in these. I mean, look at that. I mean, good job Shark's breasts are like firm as fuck because there's no way that they would stay in like that very easily. That is not unless that thing is pulled tight as tight can be. Maybe it is tight. We've seen steel plate, obviously. Stormcloak, because dressed like a Stormcloak. I think. Oh yeah, the Soul King. Oh yeah, growing your Soul King. And go grow the Soul King. go grow your alien grass. And then... You know what? I actually have less than I thought. That's studied. You know what I mean? Like sort of an evolution of hide. It's sort of... I like and dislike that because there's poor variety, but there's great sense of like this is all coherent. Greatly coherent. But it also feels a bit lacking. I mean, it's also I also need to get something to fix the masks for Dragon Priest masks because they look so bad. Even if it's just like stick these on your side or something because they look so bad. And then of course, we've always got the option of no armor with the ubiquitous Skyrim bra. Actually, I'm just gonna check something there. Does that actually fit inside the ragged robes? Yes, it does. Only just, but it. What does it? Does it? Does the neck? Yeah, it just about fits into. Maybe that's how the ragged robes stay on. Is there is actually the bra under there? Anyway, that is the end. Oh yeah, clothes and armor is actually going to look quite good. In fact, Oblivion. It was something I would say Oblivion did do better in. Is that you could have because chest and legs were separate, you could mix and match with clothing a lot better, and you could have some really funky looking combinations that look really good. The problem with that system is, note how, like, there's no clear, like, waist divide here? Yeah, that was something... I mean, technically you could do this by splitting it, say... If you look where the sort of furry waistband is, if you split from there, but the clipping would be probably pretty horrific. And I can see why Skyrim went the way it did here. You know, if you look at, take something like the ragged robes, for example, like, Oblivion, you couldn't really have that sort of skirty bit below because it would clash really badly with the trousers. There was a lot of sort of odd splitting as a result. Like, Skyrim armor does look a lot better usually, but it's less, you get less freedom with it, but it generally looks better. Like, yeah, here's the logic. Wait a second, I sold all my former shit, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. Why did I? Oh yeah, I did sell all the former shit. But here's the logic with bikini armor. It isn't, you know, it ain't protecting you. So what's the, you know, why is all the fur variants? I've got like all the fur variants just happen to be like no bikini at all. It's hard. Yeah, but like all the really full variants of fur, but not the. But using that as an example, is like, you're not wearing. That's not the only armor. There is arguably a bit over your legs. That's not really stopping anything. That's kind of the whole point. It's not really. It's not armor so much as like it will. Most of the time, armor doesn't actually protect you. This is the thing that people always seem to forget, that armor doesn't actually protect particularly well. It's meant to glance. Like, to be fair, if you're taking a hit directly to your waist, that's probably going to connect regardless of the armor. And unless your armor's particularly thick and sturdy, that's going to cut pretty much straight through. What is she doing? Just blabbing into the void. But yeah, that's like, you got, you know, you can go. That's the thing. It's like, armor doesn't actually, in most scenarios, full armor doesn't really protect from a direct hit. It's supposed to glance off. But if you're getting hit sort of in the side of your waist, that's probably never going to glance anyway because of the way the body sort of curves inwards. Even if unless you're a fat bitch like I am, in which case your body curves outwards at the waist. But that's, you know, it's just sort of those things that, like, when you look at like the bot, you know, if you go into like the ragged robes, you can sort. I mean, Shulk's got a very exaggerated hourglass figure, was big bum, but you know, big tits, big bum. But it is a case of there is that you know, if you get hit there, it's going to go through anyway. The old army helmets are a prime example. They wouldn't stop anything direct, but if you have to take a glance, they would deflect a glancing blow. So they wore those heavy things, trying to deflect a single glancing blow that was very unlikely. Any sort of direct hit would go straight through them. The exception was like the Soviet combat armor engineer. That stuff was thick as hell and would shrug off pretty much all types of light arms. But that was just like a heavy steel vest. It was just like, I am wearing slab of steel front back, nothing is getting through this thing. You know, sure, a direct rifle shot, I mean, you'd be bruised to hell and back, but it would work. But that's the thing, is people forget about armor, is it doesn't actually protect that much. You know, it's about giving... I mean, fantasy armor, obviously, you never know if it's the armor itself or the enchantment. But that's always kind of like the nature of armor as a thing, is it's never actually half as protective as people think it is. You know, most of the time you wear it to deflect. It's mostly for deflection, not for actual hitting. And to be fair, a lot of the light armors in Skyrim tend to be more, I am just wet. This is just clothing that gives an armor rating, because the furs are definitely they're not really an armor. Yeah, there's realistic armor, and let's face, and you saw the knights in plate mail, and actually didn't stop much. It was great for, like, with a knight's skill, where you could deflect an incoming, where you parried an incoming blade, and then caused it to glance off your armor. That's how it worked. But in terms of, like, if someone was coming at you with an axe or a mace and they hit you directly, they were going straight through that armor, and because it was very, very thin, it didn't actually stop much. Your basic chainmail, which I find hilarious the games consider light armor, that stuff is not light, is chainmail would actually stop pretty much just as well. Because again, it's about providing a sort of smoother service to glance a shot off rather than actually taking the heavy. Because I feel like you need to have some. Its rounded surfaces tend to be how armor works, because that way you tend to hit the. Well, not just because rounded are a stronger object than flat, but because then you hit and more like as a rounded surface, it's more likely to deflect. Well, straight plate doesn't. Tank armor is a prime example of this. You've got the sloped glacis plating on the front, which is designed to deflect shots. Because if you're deflecting, it's also, if it does get a direct shot, it's slightly further it has to go through if it's slanted. Because it can go technically further. You take something that's an inch thick and you tilt it by 45 degrees, you're technically getting a bit more than an inch worth of penetration before you have to go through it. But armor's a bit of a funny thing. It's like, it's not as effective as people tend to think it is. If you're not actually aware of it, most of the time you realise that armor doesn't actually protect you from much. Like, you look at movies and they don't treat armor like anything. Sometimes it protects them, sometimes it doesn't. It's the real armor in that is plot armor. But in reality, armor doesn't actually protect much unless it's not really human wearable thick. I mean, let's face it, a lot of old armor was, again, leather. Boiled leather armor was a very common thing because it was hard enough that it could just glance and deflect, which is what it needed to do. Arrows go straight through. And then, of course, the bruising. The mace was a particularly nasty anti-armor weapon because the mace was, you're taking a big heavy object with a good bit of leverage on top of a stick, and they're usually pointy. They usually have spikes on them to really focus that force to punch through any armor. The sort of picks on the back of hammers were usually far more effective as well at piercing. You got the armor for pure bludgeoning force, the hammer for pure bludgeoning force. Turn it around, and you got the big pick on the back of it for punching through armor. Everything had its purpose. The crossbow was one of the most effective weapons of the time because it was easy to use, unlike a bow. You could point a crossbow and shoot it much easier than you could use a bow. You've got the heavy piercing power of a very small but relatively heavy object coming at high speed, and anyone could reload them and use them. They were real, and they really put a stop to a lot of the armor. Again, any direct hit will go straight through plate mail. If it glanced, it would bounce off, but it had to be pretty solid. And that's always the thing with armor, is it's never been actual protection. It's more about deflecting blows than actually taking them. There's some only the unbearably heavy stuff can actually deflect. Like fully just absorb a shot. Absorb a hit. I mean, power armor works in Fallout lore. It actually works because it's like tank-grade armor on a powered exoskeleton that you are inside of. It's a walking tank suit, effectively. And that's why, lore-wise, it works. And why it was so effective, because it was much heavier than human portable armor could be. And you're a relatively small target, so hitting you with an anti-armor weapon would actually be quite difficult. Oh, we probably still would have chainmail. I mean, if you look at Dragoia.wikia, or Dragoian.fandom as it has to be called now because they rebranded from Wikia to Fandom, plug, but if you look at like something I've always consistently... Yeah, the longbows could do a lot of damage, but they would require a hell of a lot of skill to use as well. But if you look at Wikia, plug it up, plug, but you'll notice that all my character designs that are like armored, they're always sort of stated to be like... Oh, horseback was a different issue again, because you're fast, which puts a lot more force into your swings. And, you're unpredictably fast. And the Mongols in particular were incredibly good horse riders. They were like, their horsemanship was second to none. Like there was stories of like the courier, the message couriers who wouldn't stop. They would just hop from one horse to another and just keep going, which is hell of horsemanship. But if you look at everything in like all my like Dragonian Universe stuff, if you look at like any of the armor in it, it's mostly like this is like the stated armor is this is a underneath. You've got it looks like a shirt, but it's actually underneath. It is just it's a sandwich shirt, chainmail shirt. So they don't have to bother putting anything over it. It's just one piece. You put your shirt on, and it's a chainmail shirt. They're built like bloody tanks. Indeed, the Mongols were the horse people. No one's ever really mastered horse warfare like the Mongols did. And it was like, but all my Dragonian Universe stuff is like they've got the sort of like basic chainmail armor for glancing, just to deny it, and they're dragons, so they're built like bloody tanks anyway. You know, it's again more force mitigation, and they got big heavy steel plates on it as well. Let me just grab an example while I just do this. Actually, I know what I can do. I can do this on stream. Ha ha ha! Mwah ha ha ha! Mwah ha ha ha! Where is it? Image. I can just do it like this. And then I'm just gonna go. I can just do this because I just go into my own bloody archive here. It's like I can show what I'm talking about. But if you take, say, I'm going to grab out the old, put standard trooper armor up, and of course it doesn't scale it properly because this is OBS. It's trying to scale it to its original size, which is frankly big. But if you're looking at sort of like what I'm talking about, is like sort of there we go. Now I can just plop that in there, and then I can now just grab another image, and then just grab. If you sort of see like the different grades of armor, like there's a different one there, which I'll just move that one over, scale it down. Maybe yes, you're being weird with your sizes again because I can't actually see the size. But if you like how I do the armor is like you've got your trooper on the left, which is more about mobility. So they got the core parts of your body. You got plates on them, sort of trying to deflect any bullet shots. Then you got on the right, you've got the gunner, who is not really meant to move as much, and hence has the full sort of heavy chest plate. You got the full heavy chest plate to give that more coverage, but you're not really, the gunner isn't meant to move. The trooper's meant to move. Both carry a machine gun. Trooper on the left. Left one is the trooper. He carries he'll carry a small machine gun, like a man portable thing. The gunner on the right, this one, carries the big heavy ass machine guns, which like kind of static position, not really meant to use it. And it's like, really meant to move, so mobility is less of an issue, so you wear the heavier armor, so it's like, okay, a bullet's coming at you, dink, bounces off, and if it does penetrate the armor, it's got to go penetrate the chainmail, and then it's got to penetrate your metallic scales, and then it's got to hit something lethal behind that. It's 3 layers of slowing. So I've always tried to, and then this is just Dragonian examples. I can change the pictures. I'm going to change them to a different example, which is we'll grab a Drakian example now. Well, I mean, this is definitely more partly form armor, but this is still like take a Drakian example over here on the right. No, again, you've got the standard armored uniform underneath, which if I just grab a standard picture of her without the uniform, so if I just grab I've got to grab it from the file. Please give me a moment. If I take another standard, if I go find, standard example of the uniform, sort of different character, but say the same basic uniform underneath. The uniform is just standard chainmail. These are more modern. They've got railguns. They've got, rather than standard bullet weapons, they're kind of more advanced technologically. But the difference is, like, not only is heavy armor example on the right much heavier, she's much physically bigger, but she's also built like a tank. And the armor is, you can sort of see how thick the plating is from how thick it sticks out from the arms. It's like thick plate, like heavy, almost power armor level platings, stuck on top of someone who's already an armored tank naturally, and you try and shoot for the heart. You've got thick armor. You've got about a couple of inches worth of armor, because when you remember she's like 12 foot, not human size. So you've got a huge amount of heavy armor to get through. Then you've got to get through solid muscle mass, because here's the thing, here's a little fun Dragonian universe tidbit. The female tits aren't like human tits. They are like pure muscle, and they're heavy muscle, and they generate sort of strength hormones. They're completely different purposely than humans. And there's just like here, huge art. She's built just like a tank, and that's a different example of the sort of heavier armors. And then if I just find a different example, try to find one with more armor that is, sort of light. I'm just trying to think of ones that got a little bit lighter armors. You go for a Dragonian, they got a little bit more. You got they're not really armored at all. They're almost in the we don't really care armor category of we've got frankly no armor, just it really is just like this armored shirt. It's just the armored shirt again. And shorts, because they're not that. The idea of this was like more modern, like there's no real armor, just expeditionary sort of style. It's like there's also a case of I am also my tits are so huge I can just store things between them. I can just use that as a pocket. It's also in cultural things. There's cultural reasons why they show the tits like that. It's just a cultural thing. But then you got like which is just basically just shirt. She's got armor plates because it's not even standard issue. They're just special ones. It's not even like they don't really serve much purpose. They're more just a status indicator at that point. Because the Dragonians, which is the left one, little white, that's a Dragonian, the one that's wiggling. That's a Drakian, the one that's wiggling. Now they're kind of like two totally different culturally. And I try and make sure that each culture is a bit different with how they handle armor. So let's just find one that's got like. And you got the. Yeah, I'm not going to use the four dragons. They're kind of a bad example. Then you got like and they're not really up to date. Try to find. Then you got this sort. You got the Lakans, which are kind of just. They don't. Yes, I know. Shork and Shork. Look. They're totally not just shark dragons. Yeah. So the Dragonians don't really. They were kind of what their army is they're a police force that really doesn't have much of a clue. So that was kind of their whole thing. I mean, the Silakan armor is pretty much the same sort of deal as like they don't really have much armor in that they don't really need it. They're bigger than most people, and the people that are bigger than them are so much bigger. In fact, I'm going to grab this one as a just do a fun rough size comparison. When I say the people that are bigger than them are much bigger, I'm going to grab an example of one of those in her armor. Weirdly enough, and then scale these roughly about right. And when I say they are much bigger, I mean they are much bigger. That's probably a little underballing it, but that's when when the size difference is that, and you're already, and then like your Drakian was like, if you take the okay, I'm not just gonna do that, but I'm gonna if we're gonna pretend that that's if we're gonna the Drakian in reference is about that big in comparison, it starts being you can't even see it. It's like the scale differences are also a factor. It's like the fact that these big Shadraxians, the big purple ones, they wear armor at all is kind of redundant when they're the biggest things for miles. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you got when you're the thing with Drankin is like their skin isn't actually a weakness because the skin is the scales are metallic anyway, so they're metal. They're like relatively heavy metal. So the things are built like tanks anyway. And it's just like, the Shadraxians are a case of they're a bit insular. They're kind of so big that most society can't deal with them, at least. The Silakans they're only about 45 foot, so they're kind of, society can usually deal, other societies can sort of deal with them and live in their same society. I mean, I'm going to bring up an example of... Just bring up an example of that happening. Which year was it? Was it last year? No. Why do I always forget which years this... You know, I do a yearly calendar where I do sort of like scale. So there we go. We're going to take that one and hide that. So that one is a sort of example of Selashan working with a smaller species, which is these two, which is a Selday, which are only about 15 foot. So there's a big size difference, but for some reason that picture has mirrored itself. Right? Why is it mirrored itself? Why has that picture mirrored itself? Like, it's not meant to be pointing that way, but I can't be bothered to flip it, so it's gonna stay in its mirrored state. That picture is backwards. It needs mirroring, but I can't. I don't know why ABS has done that, but it's like a case of like the bigger ones don't really need the armor so much. And let's face it, when you're in a spacefaring civilization, do you even need it at that point? Like, your weapons tend to have pretty high damage output. Yeah, they punch through most things. Like, they're just not... And stun weapons are much more common as a thing as well, so... Like, then there's, like... We don't have armor... There's a lot that just don't bother with armor. Like, a lot of them is just, like... A lot of them, the uniform is armored, but it's just not shown to be armored so much as... It's not... You know, it's not really a armored thing so much as just the uniform is armored, and they don't really have extended plate work. And then, you know, we'll finish off this armor discussion with one that's particularly... where is she? Where is she? Wait, should we... Not in there. Where is... Oh yeah, should be that. That's what should be under. Is... Yeah, we'll finish off with Dravora, who is probably the most armored example, and kind of is... this armor is designed to conceal identity. So, yeah. I mean, this is... The thing is, it's like... Grounded... There's a cultural thing with Dragonkin that they don't bombard planets, because the logic is, if we bombard, they'll bombard, and it'll just escalate until one planet is gone, boom. And, you know, it's just a cultural thing that is, like, just not really there. But, yeah, Dravora is very much back in the Dragonians, whose pre-spaceflight were about World War II era-ish, so they still had that heavy armor mentality was still a thing. But it's like a full heavy chainmail suit with everything that is pretty much isn't a joint is armored to hell. And it's pretend power armor. It's pretend power armor is Dravora's. So it's one of those fun things that's sort of like a pretend power armor. Then you got the... Just find an example of one that just... You know, just... They aren't making any qualms about what they are. And then there's sort of... There's this fat monstrosity from the ancient past. Yeah, there's this fat monstrosity from the ancient past who is... That's not armor in any definition. It's a statement piece. But it's still technically an armor. It just serves, again, the same logic of when your gut is just that fucking fat as a Dragonkin, that thing is basically bulletproof. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same energy as NCR with power armor, and you're just wearing the pieces and just like, oh my god, this stuff's heavy, but it's effective. Like, then you got just like the fancy armor that serves no purpose. Like, and if you're wondering why the feet are so wide, they have many toes. They just have many toes. Those Hydrians are weird. They got 2 heads and bit weird feet. But I think the only ones that have more than 5 toes. Some have 3, some have 4. I think some even have 2, and then there's like you got like the Hydrians that have like 6. They have an odd number of toes for some reason. But you know, I try to keep the designs grounded within the universe itself, and then there's the I wear this not because of any particular reason. It's just the bra is for support. It just happens to be made of metal, and the trousers are to prevent lava splashback. Well, they were Yes, with the name Hydrian as well. I wonder why that's giving Greek vibes. They were intended to be the token Hydra type. Yep. But there is the case of, like, this is a more modern example of the Hydrian. This isn't that the big fat one was the old queen. This is the sort of, there's not many left. Their planet kind of had geological disasters on a horrible scale. All the advanced ones pissed off and left just a few behind that came a bit thick. Right. And frankly, the armor is, there's not many people left, and frankly, at the end of the day, you're only wearing the lower parts just for sort of like you wore the armor, but then got rid of the armor when you didn't need it. So just wear what you wear. Be cute. Doesn't really matter because nothing's going to threaten you. Sort of logic. It's like the lower half, but lava splashback. Then you got which ones? I mean, I'm not really a fan of those images. They're kind of outdated and crap, so when you show those. You got the sort of like, yeah, they are really outdated and crap. I really need to update those. I guess you got, and then there's the I'll go with the all show no go armor. Yeah, an example of ancient Dragonian all show absolutely no protective power whatsoever armor, which is this. That's got absolutely no protective qualities whatsoever. It is just fabric. They don't need it. They are equipped with they carry a big energy shield in one hand and a big powerful beam cannon in the other. They don't need armor. If anything, and they're also genetically enhanced. They're just kind of like, not that one. No. Then an example of a different one. And yes, that armor is bespoke to each one. So if you take a different example, if we just bring up a different example in the other side, their armor is bespoke to each one. They've all got bespoke armors. They're just kind of like, it's a style choice. They're all like a sort of fake knightly order. I guess not fake knightly, but they pretend to be more than they are. Ancient Dragonian history is a bit weird. And for some reason, I've just realised that I think all of these mirror images are mirrored for some reason. I don't know why. I guess maybe when I was doing the scaling, I accidentally mirrored them. Oopsie. But that's what it is. It's just like the armor design choices. I tried to make them sort of there. I mean, the military uniforms are like just standard. They're of a different cut to standard uniforms. I don't actually think I have a particularly good example. If I bring out the examples of both of these in their military uniforms, you'll see that they are, barring the mirroring, don't know why one of them is mirrored and one of them isn't. This one is correct. This one's mirrored, or is it the other way around? For some reason, that one's mirrored. Do not ask why. But the normal uniform is oh god, I hate these old. The old outfits are really bad, and I'm not showing them. But they've got a custom cut military style uniform. It's got sort of this. I'll use this old image even though I don't really like it, but the more standard uniform has a sort of, you can sort of see the cut is a bit different. You can sort of also tell that that's a bit of an older image. Proportions are a little bit more off, but it's the same basic style of uniform, just slightly different cut. And I got rid of the stupid toe boots as well because the toe boots were getting. They're something I've just made. This is just a Dragonian thing. And there's go back and look for another one. I mean, there's a lot of ones that have like armor but don't really need it. Style. I mean, I guess technically there's another example of heavily armored with Jack's knife, which is kind of a special boarding party armor. Again, completely pointless when this versus this is the typical matchup, and the size difference is like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about that. That's about the size difference. Yeah, that armor is completely pointless. Of a standard member of the species, this big beast here is actually bigger than all the others. She's a freak. You know, she's a genetically engineered freak. But it's also a case of, like, that's a case of, I am just going to be wearing armor just for intimidation purposes. It's not actually serving any practical purpose compared to the standard examples of... Let's just get a different one in the standard uniform. You know, the standard uniform is just this big cloth thing. It's... You know, when you don't have normal legs, you have to count for that. Oh yeah, I mean, Warhammer's got some... I mean, siege weapons, you kind of debate the point. If it's not... you need a siege weapon when you're in planetary warfare? Like, unless you're... Because you've always just got deorbital strike if you need it. It's one of those things. But that's a case of, like, example of, like, armor for the sake of armor. And yet it actually is relatively practical given the massive sort of... Actual coverage is pretty good. Barring for some reason, the tops of the leglets are really awkward to armor. Because you can only pull armor so far up your arse. When you don't really have an arse, it is a bit of an awkward thing to armor. But again, sort of designed mostly for intimidation, but still relatively practical armor. And then the just regular uniforms. And one thing I've deliberately kept is like all the uniforms. Let me just grab an example of not the best example, but if I grab an example of a Andragian uniform there. Now, again, needs updating, but it's pretty much the same uniform. No idea. I haven't changed the uniform much. Is like all of the uniforms have got a quite old aesthetic to them. Very few have the sort of modern. Yeah, the size difference is also a lot of things. Like individually between species, you got there's big differences in how they fight. Usually, small species fight a little more creatively. They don't tend to do ground combat against the big ones. The actual scale differences are very noticeable. I mean, you thought these were big. Scale-wise, that relative to the old Kandragians, which are absolutely massive, they are roughly about that sort of size. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about that. The size difference is pretty massive. And then there's the absolute titans of the world, which... in terms of, like, there's not much bigger than the one I'm just going to show. And again, the artist for this one is a bit outdated, but it kind of gets the point across. It's fucking mirrored. But it's... If I just hide... You sort of see the size of, like, that one. That one is particularly huge. And again, the sort of really, really old stuff. The really old style uniforms, and these are technologically advanced. Like, I tried to keep, if you're an intelligent species, that not much gets bigger than the 4 Draxons, solely because I've kind of done the maths, and it gets really messy for cult. You start, population numbers start coming down to microscopic numbers if you get much bigger, because they cannot sustain. These things are so huge, they start being unsustainable. But, yeah, I mean, scale-wise, they're about... treating these as generic examples, not the specific characters, they would be about that size difference. Size difference isn't too massive. They're about the only ones on equal footing. But the example of the small fight smarter, let me just bring up Paradox race. Stupid name, I know, but that's kind of the point. Tidronians have stupid names. But if I take example, and no, she is just bold. Her species is not bold. She is just the bold example. Their comparison size about yay big. They're pretty damn tiny next to a 4 Dragon. In fact, probably a bit more like that. They're almost 10 times shorter, but. There was also the one case I did of this is futury. I like to get. I try to treat a sci-fi property as is it consistent with its own lore for what works and what doesn't. if it's consistent with it, it gets away with it. And like, the only universe has always been a tech-focused thing. It's taking what is traditionally the realm of fantasy, dragons, and putting them into a more grounded, technologically focused world. Removing the fantasy elements. Just the ones you saw with wings, they don't fly. The wings are just a vestigial they're just an old relic of time past. They can't fly, they're too bloody heavy to fly. None of them breathe fire, although some of them occasionally fit a flamethrower in their mouth just to screek the humans out. Yeah. I say that, the Bordraxons kind of spread horribly because resources they kind of go through. And I try and make it so that like the big ones tend to have a bigger home world, like they're really pushing the boundaries of solid planets for size. But yeah, I also like Chidronians, this one. I deliberately went for a more future-y vibe with them. I mean, I've actually done an interior for them, which is unusual. I've not really done interior design for a lot of them, but if I go into the old calendar backlog, which I saw it, there it is. Is I sort of deliberately did sort of bit of interior design for these, just to really sell that they're different. Like, go for that really super modern, soulless future look. Again, I don't know, it's a right, yeah. Which one is a fucking mirrored one? Yeah, it's been mirrored, of course it has. Ignore the fact that it's mirrored, but oh yeah, I mean, there's in terms of like most of their tech comes from. Let me just grab up the images from effectively, the weirder elements of the grown universe, which comes from, frankly, oh god, those are ancient. But let me just grab an example of what is. Probably best actually grab from calendars because I tend to do full bodies of those. Right, where are they? Stand up. I'm just looking for a big teal mass while I'm going through my files. Don't mind me. Like, most of the sort of... Yeah, and I'm looking for a very specific one. Is most of the air tech comes from this species. If I bring this one up. Yeah, that is a planet. That is a planet. This is their special goddess one that's like particularly huge, but it's like, most of the tech comes from these massive, if godlike beings. This is the small sister. I will bring up the other one now, which is the big sister, who is basically a creator. It's I make the universe, watch what happens, and then when I'm bored, I fuck it up and destroy it. Like this. I just play with it. It's like there is the FTL engine is the hyperdrive, which is a subspace dive type hyperdrive. Subspaces, not subspaces we would know it. It's subspaces recorded as basically the deeper you go, the more compressed it gets, effectively. So you can cross. The deeper you go, the faster you go. But also, the deeper you go, the harder it gets to navigate, and it's a deliberate attempt to make a more reasonable thing that avoids relativistic speeds. Like, you're not technically in the universe anymore. You've kind of left and gone into a slightly different one. But yeah, it's all derived from these like big god beasts. I mean, a more natural-sized one. Let me just. I have one of. Ugh. I don't actually have one with relative scale. The only one I have relative scale-wise is kind of still massive. But when I say like relative scale, all of these like, these are more like just big god monsters that just mess around. Life is just an experiment to this beast. That's what she is. Yeah, she's basically just a big Lovecraftian monster level of power. It's like you don't have if I said the word that actually was the number for how many times you did, your head would just explode. Levels of I have done this so long, your species cannot comprehend this number. And every single universe is one infinitesimal difference, and that's it. And And when she's bored, she just destroys the universe in a playful manner. But, you gotta have fun. You make your universe, you got fun destroying it every so often. Usually fucking around, like, squishing stars and just doing stupid shit. But she's very much the sort of creator goddess style. But it's all just kind of like, is it the fact that the universe has happened multiple times it's just a loop thing. She has very little intervention, and she's just kind of not nice, but more a neutral observer for 90% of the time. It's all just a bit of a... It's just an excuse for like why the tech exists. Also, the old Star Wars galaxy far, 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 far away excuse. Like, it's just one of those cases like the usual Soul Dragon, which is what she technically is. They're big, but they're not that big. They're spaceborne monstrosities that are the reason the tech spreads is they sort of propagate it. It's also a cute reason for why everyone speaks the same language. Is the Soul Dragon in this home galaxy? The Soul Dragons basically interfere with every single civilization to make them all speak the same language. They don't write the same language, but they speak the same language. It's one of those just cute little details I put in just to explain why everyone can speak the same language. But my voice is killing me now. I've just realised there's an extra almost hour of all of this talky stuff. But it is what it is. I'm just gonna clean up that. Clean up my mess. Because, clean up my OBS mess. You can't see this, I can. And that is the end of the stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for holding conversation way after the stream. This has happened twice this week, I'm concerned. This happened with the Spyro stream as well, but I kept playing Spyro in the background rather than going off on a complete tangent. But that's weird. That's happened twice in 1 week. That's really weird. The donation link is in the description as per the usual, as the list of all past streams and all the old series, because there's so many of those. Oh, and yeah, oh god. Ugh. I need to go. I need to feed. I can't just eat people to feed. I must eat normal food at normal speeds. I can't just open gob and shove it down like Short can. Oh yeah, Reignited was what I was doing. Yeah, I plan to... Oh yeah, I've currently got... I've just got through the first homeworld of Gateway to Glimmer. So Spyro 2 for most people. Or Ripto's Rage, as the Americans call it. It's Gateway to Glimmer here, and always has been, and always will be. No matter if Reignited forgets the name. But that won't be next week on Monday. It'll be the week after on Monday. Because yep, the next stream will be because gotta do the timetable. I like timetables. It's Monday the 10th will be TF2. Thursday the 13th. Oh, it's Thursday. It's the 13th. Nice. It will be a Skyrim again, because Skyrim's a weekly stream. Monday the 17th will Spyro Reignited again. Then Thursday the 20th will be Skyrim. Monday the 24th, TF2. Thursday the 27th, Skyrim. Monday the 31st, Spyro Reignited. And then September. 3rd of September, the Thursday will be Skyrim as well. And my voice needs to rest. Good. Bang. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay classy.